diamonds, which is apparently the currency of like under a volcano or something, you know. So
So what are
yes.
the astral doubloons worth? Like, are they equivalent to a gold coin or something else?
I mean, they're kind of just like large coins. But yeah, it's they're made out of a different metal that seems almost like platinum.
So would the value be like what would one doubloon value be more or less in like Gaian currency?
We don't really know for sure, but
Oh, okay.
the speculation was it was somewhere around 15 times.
And I have a weird memory that like astral doubloons can't exist outside.
Oh, so they like
Plane
disappear when we plane shift again?
or something. They have to be in their
That
own.
may have
Like you
been
put them in the bag of holding, they'd be fine. But if you like, but I could be full of shit on that one. I don't remember.
that may have been a homebrew thing. I don't recall ever reading anything
Yeah,
about that.
or like a different edition, or I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Because honestly, if we collect a whole bunch of astral coins, and then you should guys see if someone can make a weapon out of it.
I thought I saw Thorothi for a moment.
Yeah, he was there.
He was
I
on.
think I think. So yeah, I don't think a weapon made out of astral doubloons would actually do anything special, but um, it would probably just like it would proc as a magic weapon, but have no effect.
Let me see if I'll give Thorothi a few minutes, see if he rejoins. And Titus is going to be late, so I'm guessing he'll get here
Yeah.
a little ways in.
And I didn't finish the 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 stream. I tried to watch it when I got off work today, but I only got about 45 minutes in. So I'm actually kind of excited that Titus gave a long journal, unlike me.
He did a great job. Mine he had some spelling issues, but I cannot fault him for that at all.
Yeah,
Don't
unfortunately,
we all?
he's not here to read it.
I'll read it to make up for not being here the previous week.
Let me give Thorothi like 2 more minutes and see if or 1 more minute and see if he pops in.
So was it just Anna, Kate, and Titus last week?
Thorothi was there.
Thorothi, yeah.
Okay.
But he wasn't able to talk. He was just typing in chat.
So.
I hope he enjoys himself. He says he does, but yeah. He's very quiet.
Well, it sucks when you have like a weird internet connection.
Yeah.
Like I'm a little nervous right now because it's been storming, and I'll be honest, Comcast where I am is like most time it works, but there's water every once in a while. It gets a little weird. So
there he is.
Ew.
Well,
there's my internet finally.
all right.
You just turn everything off and turn it back on again?
Oh no, it turned off before, so it does the thing. It will drop out, it'll come back on for 10 minutes, and then drop back out again, and then come back on and then stay on.
Ooh.
Great.
Well, that's not stressful at all.
No, I'm used to it by this point, funnily enough.
Right. Well, let me see. So the group doesn't have any other NPCs with them right now, which I think this group only has one or two anyway.
Just the critters and Roldo.
Oh, who
Yeah.
came with us?
Did
Just the,
Lyra?
we're gonna
No,
have an
she said-
astral werewolf right now.
Who came with you? I think it was just the group. I don't think you brought any of your NPCs. Your camp is back in Teruvia. Unless
We
you...
didn't say we were bringing anybody.
Yeah. So unless you want to go get them later, but for now it's just the main group. Alright.
Did we leave the werewolf home?
I believe so, yeah. The Wyvern and Boulder Bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, there's Dugdrin. But yeah, I think him and the
Unless
guards.
he expressed an interest to come, I imagine we wouldn't have asked him to.
Yeah, I think your camp is just safely parked in Tyvanis right now.
Okay.
All right. So it is going to be Therothi's turn to scribe. With Beryl as quartermaster. Are you okay scribing, Therothi? Just want to make sure, get a...
He's still muted.
Yeah, if you're...
Yeah, I'm here. Don't drop out.
Alright, so you're okay scribing. Thank you for that. And Titus is the previous scribe. So, Mary, you said you'd be okay reading his journal?
Sure.
Alright, so why don't we get started?
Once we return to Tyvanis, we realize that we are unsure if we can plane shift to the astral plane, and if we were to get there, how we would find Vlad. So we decide we should speak with with the Archmage Korik in hopes he has knowledge of the astral plane and can advise us. We speak to his people and he sets a meeting with us in the morning. We decide to spend the night at the Tribe Guild Hall, and fortunately, upon returning, the portrait of Beryl I had commissioned is finished and ready to be hung in the Guild Hall. We speak with... Is this Ayara? And talk about the guild. Anna starts probing her about getting kickbacks for the tribe's investment.
And the Lyra, yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Alira. Okay. And the tribe's use, and the use of the tribe's good name. But Ayara seems to, I think, yeah, it's Alira, seems to feel the guild is half hers at least, but concedes to Anna that she will start doing that when she can. The next morning, we head to meet with Korik, and after exchanging pleasantries, we ask him what he knows about the astral plane, and it seems he knows a fair deal, or at least much more than we do. We ask if he knows that there's an easy way to locate someone there. He mentions that magic works a little differently there, and Anna Kate mentions that location spells are rather short-ranged for the size of the astral plane. Korik mentions that there are people there that may be able to help us, and that he knows of a trading post named Minos, but the people there will have to be convinced to help us. He's not sure how we could do that. He also mentions he knows how to get there, but it's different than other teleportation spells. It's more complicated and dangerous. He shows us a book on the spell Astral Projection and tells us more about it. He explains that if we use this method, we would need to find a portal to bring Vlad back through, because he can't just snap back with us, or we could cast Plane Shift on him. He also confirms that Plane Shift would work as well. He does say astral projection would be the safer way for us to traverse the astral sea, but its material cost to cast is quite expensive. We have some of the material components, but not enough to cast it on all of us. He offers to get the components for us at cost if we wish to use his services for the spell, but we tell him we need to discuss it further, and we appreciate his help, and we will get back to him about it shortly after which we bid him farewell for now. We decided to go with plane shift to get to the astral sea, mostly because we were that was our original plan, so we stuck with it. We asked the front desk at the Tribe Guild to pass along to Korik that we will plane shift, and we appreciate his offer and his help, and then we set out. Beryl casts plane shift, a weird energy shoots out from Therothi, and we vanish and appear suddenly floating towards a large rock, or what we thought was just a large rock. But it turns and opens its eye, growling at us as we land on the ground. It appears we landed in the thick of it, and we're toe-to-toe with an astral dreadnought. Now as the fight starts, the dreadnought slams into Anna Kate, but then a beam strikes down the beast from the sky, paralyzing it, and a ship appears. A man yells, "We will pick you up, hurry," as it lowers itself to the north and drops a rope for us. And to no surprise, I can't make it to that rope faster than I could drop, as Titus and Thorothi do our best to skirt the beast. But we just aren't as fast. It shakes loose of the paralysis and uses some ability to make Titus disappear. But then Thorothi manages to temporarily incapacitate the beast with a strong spell. Anna Kate yells out to the captain of the ship, asking where Titus may have disappeared to, and he says he'll be back shortly. Doesn't last long. Anna asks for them to wait for us as she turns invisible and bolts over to where Titus last was seen. After Titus pops back into existence and we all scramble for the rope, just making it as the ship speeds away and the dreadnought on our tail, but the ship is just too fast for it. The captain of the ship introduces himself as Captain Kajo. He asked what we were doing in a dreadnought's lair, so we explained what happened, that we just transported here and it was on accident. Thorothi's magic disrupted our spell, sending us off course, and that we really appreciated him picking us up out of that mess. Kaja then asks what we are doing in the astral plane, so we explain we came here in search of our friend, and that we are actually aiming to be close to Minos. He lets us know we are 2 or 3 days travel from there, but it's a great place to start our search for our friend. He's a pirate for hire, and we can hire him and his crew for help, but unfortunately we don't have any astral plane currency known as doubloons. Anna Kate says we have plenty of items we could trade, and with our backs sort of against the wall, Titus offers up some magical armor that he doesn't wear anymore as a bargain has been struck. And the captain, a man of his word, it seems, shows us to our quarters and tells us one of the crew will get us for dinner time. And after getting to our quarters for the ride, Anna Kate asks Thorothi about what happened with his magic. He says he's not sure why I messed with barrel magic. Usually it's only his own magic, and that his magic should be very interesting in this plane. We eventually meet the captain and his crew for dinner, and Anna Kate starts a conversation with the captain. He tells us we were lucky that it was his ship because not every ship has countermeasures for an astral dreadnought, and that he stole this from the Navy. He says he actually used to be a captain with them, and he got away with the ship, and they haven't caught him and his crew, since he goes into a little bit of detail about the Royal Gith Navy fighting. So is this guy a Gith?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. With the Illithids, apparently a tentacle-faced, brain-sucking species, and how we... Oh, detail about the Royal Gith Navy fighting with the Illithids, apparently a tentacle-faced, brain-sucking species, and how we better hope to not cross any of their ships because they're even more powerful than his own. Be best to avoid them at all costs. As dinner goes on, we exchange stories with the crew, drink and have fun, and Titus manages to sell his tankard of sobriety to one of the crewmates for 15 doubloons, which in exchange rate are much more valuable than gold, to make a little money for the tribe, and also getting to remind Anna how she passed out after 3 drinks and he drank giants under the table. It takes 2 days to get there. Towards the end of the second day, the captain warns us that Minos is rather dangerous and we could be targeted and robbed. He said that we could use his name and state that we're part of his crew to keep people from targeting us unless they are other Gith. He doesn't want to get tangled up with the Navy. He doubts they are around, but better not risk it. It seems that he's a fair man because he says for the price he'll fetch for that armor, he'll give us 1 more week of his time to help find our companion, and I'm sure if we still need more time, he can be bargained with again.
Yay!
All right. Thank you for that recap.
What? No picture of a Gith and pirate outfit?
No, gift pictures are harder to find, so I don't have too many of them.
Which is actually surprising.
Just go make one in PC3 and screenshot it.
Yeah, I'll just go
because
screenshot Baldur's Gate characters.
I was anticipating that you would find just a crap ton of them.
And don't even try to have AI generate that. You will not get anything useful.
No, it wants to put a nose on everything.
Yeah. It's like, Gith, I know what that looks like. And it just draws like an old man. It's like, what? So anyway, it is the
And I see
67th of summer at 9:30 p.m. when you have arrived at the port of Minos. The captain had also recommended that you disguise yourselves, as humans are not common here, and going out as Gaian races could draw suspicion or possibly even capture, depending on who you encounter.
All right. Does he have anyone on his crew that can help disguise us? Or do we have anyone?
He does not, sadly. He could give you pirate-like outfits, but he can't really hide your your looks. You could take the risk. He just recommends, if you have a way of disguising yourself, that might be best.
Does he think that Kobold and Yuan-Ti would be just as unusual and attract as much attention as human or else?
So he would kind of scratch his chin a little. He says, Yuan-Ti are seen around sometimes. They're not unheard of. A kobold, well, you usually find one of those in a cage out here. Generally walking around dealing with the merchants. They're usually sold as slaves.
Yes. So what's your suggestion for...
there is a simple solution, but it is distasteful. I could put a collar on all of you.
So that might work. Slaves from Gaian are definitely more believable.
And if do slavers usually have guards? Titus wouldn't necessarily have to be slave, just guard with slaver, maybe?
He nods. He
Maybe
says,
if he kept his dread helm on.
Right, exactly.
He nods. He says, yeah, with that helmet on, he could be any race, so that's a win there. He says, if you're worried about it, you can stay here, and I'll just have my people take a look for info, but I don't know, maybe you're curious to see what an astral port looks like. So,
I am.
Just saying, if you go out there, be cautious.
What does everyone think?
You'll never find such a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Mos Minos.
If we go with the collar setup, it would be... You'd have to be on your best behavior, because it would be... Everything you do would be traced back to me.
Are you worried about your reputation here?
No, I am worried that I would have to sell you.
Do we want to split up in smaller group, or not all go in? Beryl prefers to stay together, but...
Stay together. If you are my entourage, then that means that I would keep you around for your purposes. In this case, it may be I use you all as companions in my fighting. You are disposable thugs.
What about the roti? Any ideas?
None that come to mind currently.
Beryl is willing to wear collar, maybe unlocked collar that Beryl can remove if needed.
Well, yes. I personally find the act of slavery not a pleasant one.
Well, just if you do remove the collar, make sure you don't do it with anyone watching. That'll be a dead giveaway, the captain says.
Does
You wouldn't
Captain
happen to have any dud slave collars, would you?
He says, not exactly a slaver, but I do have some old beast collars from transporting some astral wolves. Those should fit.
Ah,
What about animals in port? Are many animals common here?
This is not many, but there is some trade with beasts and wildlife from different planes. The astral areas are great in-between grounds for easier sale of things. It's kind of a midpoint outside
there-
jurisdictions.
Is there a beast market?
He thinks.
Sparrow wants to see new beasts.
oh well. Oh.
He thinks. He says, "Well, there might be some beasts in the market. I don't know about a beast market. If there's some more exotic beasts, you might be able to find them on the more down low trader areas. Not everything is sold out in the open because the Gith Queen Skiths do come through here and make sure everything's on the up and up. So there is still secret trading.
Okay. So there are no animals from material plane that would not draw eye if walked in market.
He says, well, as I said, it kind of depends on who's watching. Some people wouldn't really care about such things, whereas Gith soldiers would definitely be on the lookout. As such trades would have to be through the approval of the Empire.
Well, Beryl asks because Beryl can use animals as disguise.
He says, well, you should be okay. Like I said, as long as you don't encounter any soldiers. The normal people in the market don't really care.
I think as long as you are a slave, they will mostly be looking to my disposition.
He says,
if kobolds and Yanti are seen here sometimes, we are maybe less. They will look at us less than maybe Anna Kate and Dorothy. Are you an elf? I'm sorry. No, you're a.
He's a shadow elf.
Shadow guy, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not something completely different.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, okay. I mean, Beryl is willing to try collar plan if everyone else wants to try.
He says, if you assume the form of a less dangerous animal, those sorts of trades are more common. So, yeah, if you're like a wolf or something, maybe. I think wolves are from your plane, right, Guyan?
About bird or cat?
Yeah, cat, wolf, something less exotic. Those type of creatures do get traded on the normal market.
Pirates have parrots here?
He laughs. He says, no parrots on this ship anyway. Maybe we should get one. Kind of like that idea.
But, sorry, I forgot his name. What's his name?
We'll see if we can find
Jaro or something.
Kaho. Captain Kaho.
Kaho. Kaho knows what parrot is, so this seems to mean that people on Astral Plane maybe not think so strange if Hope Collar have parrot on shoulder.
He nods. He says, yeah, like I said, smaller beasts that are less dangerous, you're less likely to get any hassle over, as those are sometimes traded. Just don't become anything too exotic. The more dangerous, the more likely they'll give you trouble.
What does Tribe think?
Oh, actually, sorry, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
We'll talk amongst ourselves.
I can stay in animal form for quite a long time, and if we see any new beasts from other planes, that would expand Beryl's repertoire.
Yes, I think I understand now why you wanted to look for beasts in the markets. But you, as your kobold, I think would actually draw less attention
than
me walking you on a leash.
Yeah, especially since Captain said kobolds are seen here.
I will say that this is the first time I've ever been to the astral. None of my research really pointed to any answers here. So, this may be a little annoying, but don't forget to call me Master while we're out.
Our mistress?
I'm gonna pretend to be
Or
mute.
Mistress. That works.
Just Hope Color can
Disgruntled
say
is all the
took
thing.
slave tongue.
During my time as a slave, disgruntled was the way to be. I do not recommend the Dark Elves as a good organization for slavery.
Oh, you were a slave of the Dark Elves?
Yes, about 1,000 years ago, but yes.
Oh, they have different management now.
You think?
Yeah, from what I've heard.
Some of them were quite old, so.
I don't think they live to be 1,000.
But yes, I spent some time in the mines. It was not fun.
Which suit of armor did Titus trade for the passage?
I don't remember.
Because I think he had fire resistance and necrotic resistance and the ethereal armor, and he might have even had another.
It wasn't. I don't think it was the ethereal one.
Oh, I figured.
He likes that one too much.
Right. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Speak of the devil, and Titus appears.
Yeah,
Hey,
How's it going?
good. You?
All right.
good. Oh, actually, I'll be right back. I have to pee, so I'll be right back.
So, Titus, we are about to disembark from the ship at Minos. And we don't want to draw attention. And so one way that has been suggested that is a little bit icky. Yuan-ti aren't too unusual here. So we were considering posing as slaves or servants of Hope Collar, and Titus would be like his muscle. Her
Works for
muscle.
me. That just
So,
is a biggie.
yeah. And Lou had to step away, so we're kind of on a mini break right now.
Oh, all right. No, I think that's a great plan. Titus would definitely be pro that because then he gets to keep his armors and weapons on him.
Yeah, and plus you get to hide your face with your helm, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
And it like looks legit because you're big and scary, and that's the kind of thing slavers might want as their muscle.
Exactly. Is anybody else having trouble with Discord on their computer? Because I'm on my phone, but I can't even get it to load on my computer.
I'm not having any problems at the moment. I did have some issues last week with it did a bunch of updates, but I'm on a Mac, so I don't know if the updates are timed at the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
Huh.
I have a custom built computer, so I don't know what it qualifies as. But I'm running the Discord app, so I don't know. I don't know enough about this stuff. My buddy built me the computer. Cost a bit.
well. So, have you been updated about the plan?
I have been updated. Yeah, I like it.
Yes. Don't forget to call me mistress.
Mistress.
Yes.
Titus's helmet was off. You'd see him smile every time.
And Anna Kate has informed us that she's going to play a mute slave because she doesn't want to call her mistress.
That's right.
Or disgruntled. That always works too. Mistress with a sneer.
No, I just won't be saying anything.
Oh. So we wouldn't happen to have a small whip in our inventory somewhere.
No, you're not whipping anybody.
No. It's just a thing you put
Let's
on
not
your
be
belt.
hasty. Let's not be hasty. Let's not rule all of it out. Okay.
Titus,
Titus is into this plan.
you and I need to have a talk.
I think even if we had had a whip, we probably would have unloaded it when we unloaded all the mundane stuff in the capital.
Well, I don't know, but you guys seem to have lots of everything.
They probably
You
have a
are
whip on this pirate ship.
very well equipped people. I just want to stay. The Order didn't have nearly as much stuff as you guys.
That's all barrel. This stuff was all here when I got it.
Was it?
No, Tribe has helped. No, Titus has helped Tribe find or win much of stuff, just like previous Tribe members helped with some stuff that Tribe had when Titus came.
I don't know. Those things all belong to
I was about to say your dragon side is showing. So
That's kind of been like the point from the beginning. They all had to talk her into leaving gold behind, like in the different strongholds and stuff, and not carry it all with us always.
Probably good we didn't, because it'd be all scattered through the astral plane with what had.
Well, we got lucky on that because we had specifically emptied the bag of holding and the bags of holding and the portable holes for that heist.
I'm gonna restart my computer and hope I can get Discord working on there.
Oh, is it funky? Yeah.
I can't even get it. The page opens up and just stays straight gray. Nothing shows up on it. I can't do anything. So it's working through everything else is working. And my Discord's working through my phone. I just much prefer it through my computer, because then I can. You don't hear this every time I mute myself. I don't know if you guys hear that, but it annoys me. I just can mute myself through my headset.
No, I think it edits that out because it has that sound canceling thing, so you don't get the background stuff.
Oh, okay. I just can't stop. I can't, every time I mute myself here. Ding! I'm like, what the fuck?
All right, sorry about that.
Oh, you're all good. One thing I wish that Roll20 would do is if you're multi-class, it would actually show you all the multi-class. Anyway.
What do you mean?
Oh, it says Stormkeeper Ranger, Twilight Domain, Stormkeeper Ranger 6, and then it starts to talk about the cleric thing, and then it cuts it off and won't show you what level you are. So
yeah, no, that display is not great.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you're all displaying as your characters, but yeah, what do you want to do?
I think we want to borrow any old clothing and these collars from the captain that might help us blend in, and I think we're gonna try the posing as slaves route.
All right.
I don't know how hard we're trying to sell this, but in my experience, it helps if we burn a mark into their forehead.
Titus,
I'm just
no.
we're trying to sell it.
you're not helpful. You're not being helpful.
I choose not to follow that. No.
I don't know. A real slave trader would. You got to mark your inventory.
It's
Otherwise,
it's a
people just
little
take it.
too permanent for our circumstances. So yes.
All right. So he would have some clothing. Do any of you have like disguise kit training? If not, I guess maybe maybe like deception with intelligence instead of charisma. Let's say intelligence or wisdom. And if you have deception training, well, actually, deception I don't think would. Maybe performance.
You said or wisdom?
Yeah, intelligence or wisdom, and if you have performance, you can add proficiency to the roll.
Well, I don't have deception or performance, but I got lots of wisdom.
All right, so you can just
I got
roll
lots of
wisdom.
Anyone else want in on those rolls?
Sure.
Well, you would all roll this.
Oh, okay, perfect.
This is it.
Ah,
Oof.
So the options are deception or what?
The options are wisdom or intelligence, and if you have performance, you can add proficiency to the roll.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Oh, good. Two skills are lacking.
Because it would probably... Okay.
Oh, fourth.
all of us went for wisdom.
That makes sense. I don't think you have a very high intelligence person in the group.
Do you have anyone on the captain's tribe that is better at performance, or?
Does he have a bard on staff?
This is...
No, I think this is us like getting our shit together. I think is what this is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So, yeah, you get your disguises on. Who's going to be what? Like, what are your disguises? How many slaves do you have?
Yes. Actually, everyone here is going to be a slave except for. I'm talking in her voice. God damn it! Except for Hope Caller. Hope Caller's
And
going to be the
Titus.
slave master. No,
Wait,
actually,
Titus was like your hired muscle. Oh.
Yeah, he's going to be a slave too, but he's going to be a fancier slave. He's gonna
Now,
have nicer
who
stuff.
made that decision? Because I don't remember Titus making that decision.
I was told muscle, but
Yeah, Titus was specifically going to be a guard so he could still have his weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Yes, that works.
Okay, so Barrow's going to put her
Must be
shield and her spear into her bag of holding.
Okay.
Also, I will give my helm of comprehend languages over to Hope Caller in case it comes in handy.
That's not necessary.
Okay.
Probably. I speak many languages.
Okay, then I'll put it away.
If
I
you've
have
never been to the astral plane before, you don't know what languages they speak here.
I assume they would speak abysmal, infernal, and Botian.
Most of the common is actually a fairly common language in the port. The Gith usually speak in Gith, and other languages, yeah, like some might speak in one of the Outer Planes languages, but usually with trade, everyone speaks common. If you're just looking to talk to people here.
The helm might be useful to help get out of a conversation with a Gith, I suppose.
I wanted it to be handy for you in case is helpful, but maybe not needed.
I mean, I don't speak Gith.
Well, I guess Beryl could keep it on, and then Hope
you
Caller
make-
can use Beryl as interpreter.
Yeah, why don't you make Beryl the fancy slave?
I
Translates for you.
don't know if that makes a lot of sense. If they buy a kobold as a fancy slave.
Well, if you're that smart and you know a lot of
That's
languages, that
That's
would make
true.
a lot of
That's
You're like
also
sense.
suspicious.
You're like C-3PO. This is turning into Star Wars.
Yep.
And
Yes,
it's
yes,
a
it
lot
is.
easier. It's a lot easier to keep you in line if you got a behemoth like me hired on the side too. So like,
Every
you
now
could
and then,
you ride on
every
my
now and then,
shoulder.
every now and then, Todd used to just go.
Uh,
I actually don't think that that's the best role for Beryl if we want to avoid suspicion.
Okay.
And Anna Kate's already said she wants to be silent. Thorothy, would you like to be Hope Caller's interpreter slave?
Well, so far, that's not gone well for any of us, but I can give it a go.
Well, here, just keep helmet, and then in case needed, can
Oh, you're
understand.
the best C3PO. You would be amazing. Yes,
Who?
let's do that.
And Kate goes and changes into her gold bikini for the to have the chain around her neck.
Slave Kate outfit. Oh my god.
slave Anna-Kate outfit.
Titus
And
approves.
Barrel's the little chittering
She's the monkey.
imp thing. Yeah.
The Corellian monkey lizard.
Nice.
All right, what's the consensus here? I'll wear the helm if you guys want me to. I was gonna take.
Thorothy having the helmet is probably better because we have to do. There's a lot of arcane crap we're gonna have to look at, and I think he has his shtick is arcana. So.
All right, hold on to my helm. Here you go, Thorothy. And Barrel's gonna put away her shield and like her spear and stuff, but like she'll keep her leather armor and her staffs on her back. Just the more martial stuff she puts away.
All right. So she's pretty much hiding most of her. Does she have her backpack on, or is she giving that to someone else?
Her backpack is in the bag of holding, which is hanging from her belt. It's up to you guys if you guys want one of you to
So
carry
she
it
just
instead.
has one pouch on her belt.
Yes.
All right. Or one
Is there
sack.
anything you want me to hand? Like, if we were to break into combat, is there anything you'd want handed to you right away? Like, I can keep
No, Beryl is
something
fine with
down.
staff and Beryl's powers.
Okay. That applies to anyone who's going as like the slaves. Like, do you want me to keep Vile Song or the other name is eluding me at the moment on my back, and you can just yank them off if we end up in combat?
Oh, that's
Anna?
a good idea.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah, it does. It makes total sense for the muscle to be well armed.
Because I just I have the only thing out for me will be my giant glaive. So if I have a secondary sword on my back, like I can stow other things. Because normally I would have I don't know how we rule it, but I have switched to another pole arm. I just don't know where I technically keep it, or if I'm walking around with like a bunch of them strapped to my back, and I haven't wanted to bring it up because
Try not to think about that
I
too
don't wanna
hard
lose
because
that.
yeah, trying to think about that too hard. It's like the video game we're stuff is. It just doesn't. Well, we're not going to deal with that.
Yeah, right. Good. But yeah, if you want me to, I can strap it to my back, and you're so much faster than me. Even if I run into combat, you could run up to my back and yank it off, even if it cost you a little bit of time.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anything that I should carry on me?
Oh, Shadow Strider was the other name.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I didn't.
Yeah, I'm looking at Shadow Strider. And I'm like, I don't know if would that sword be willing to let me carry it?
Probably not.
We're buddies though. If we want to strap it to my back with Vile Song, or give Hope Collar Vile Song strap.
So am I
Yeah, that makes
hearing
sense.
the bow?
That actually would make way more sense, because if you're going to be shooting from range, it'd probably be in closer to Hope Collar. And if you're
Right.
going to be up in the front, you
Yep,
just
that
pull
makes
off my
sense.
back.
Alright, so you distribute the weapons to the non-slaves, as would make sense. I assume the slaves have basically nothing on them. Except
Well,
for
Beryl's
clothing.
still wearing her insignia of claws and her ion stone, but she can like put them under like the old shirt that she put on or whatever she's wearing. Yeah.
So the ion stone generally like rotates around your head. That would be kind of hard to hide.
Does it have to, or can I like summon it or something? Like I
So
You
forget.
can turn it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
But-
benefit from it, it has to, but you can turn it off and just like carry it inertly, but you wouldn't gain
Okay.
the stat
I'll do that.
bonus. Okay.
All right. That's at least better than having to fish it out of the bag.
All right. So you I don't know, maybe it can like turn into an earring or something.
I just figured it was on the same chain that she has her insignia of claws on.
All right.
All
So
jokes
the
aside, sorry.
go ahead.
All jokes aside about marking, like actually marking their bodies, but should we put a marking on their clothes or something? Just as, I mean, if you are trying to sell the fact that you're a slaver, there would be a brand. I would feel like a little mark.
Not necessarily, because there's the idea that a branded slave is a slave that is never going to leave that house.
I just mean the clothing. So when they're bought,
Oh.
they know.
Eh,
That's why I was saying the mark on the clothes.
Like
I'm-
liveries,
I'm
basically.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend I am a house. That I am some fancy slave merchant. I am going to be a slave owner, not necessarily a house.
So the captain would bring out some shackles. He says this might help sell the illusion. He clamps some irons on the slave people. He says the only issue with this is, you'd have to undo the locks to get them out.
I think I better take off the spy's murmur too. I was just looking up the description, and it's a headpiece, so
Yeah.
that would make it pretty obvious.
All right, so
And
he
that's attunement, so I'll just put that in my bag.
So you also would say it's pretty late, though at this point the taverns will be pretty rowdy. I don't know if you want to go question people now to look for information. Now's the time when there'd be the most people and the most danger.
Oh, should we wait?
Says, well, it's up to you. You could wait till morning to go start talking to people. But yeah, if you want to hit the taverns tonight, there might be more people there with more information on your friend.
Would it not be strange to have such a parade of slaves just to visit tavern?
So there might be, unless you're making a trade there. You're probably going to get less scrutiny in the tavern, because people are too busy drinking and fighting to care about who you are. Though you might get the odd person picking a fight with you because of what you look like. So it's up to you.
Yes.
Should
You,
we all even go, or should we just send?
He says, you seem like a group that could hold your own in a bar fight.
Yes, but once group reveal identity as outsiders and powerful ones, then it's maybe harder for group to continue quest here.
No, it's okay because you have slave collars on. If I command slaves defend me, then you kind of have to.
I'll look to the captain. Would be believable for slaves to be good fighters
Says could
and
be.
defend master?
I mean,
Okay.
there are gladiators that are sold. Some of the bastard nobility trading them for the fighting pits.
Is common for slaves to do magic?
That's less common, he says. Magic is usually a sign of nobility, at least in the at least out here.
Okay. So some of tribe would be giving away and be suspicious if use magic. Like Titus and Anna Kate can do martial fighting, but others less so.
Yeah, but why don't we just send in like I know we're gonna need Throthi as a translator, so we bring just Throthi, myself,
I just
and
sent Hope
Hope
Color.
Collar just to
Does
fill
Hope
in
Color
any
have
group information.
Hope Color? Are you attuned to one of the spies murmurs?
Yeah.
Okay, that would at least let you call us if something goes south. Beryl can put hers back on.
Well,
If you,
yes, but it would take an hour for me to attune.
oh, that's why I asked
Except-
if you were attuned to one of them.
No.
Okay, you're not. Okay, then that. Beryl thinks that it may be less suspicious for smaller group to go to taverns, but Beryl is worried about tribe being split.
Yes. But let me see. Do I have a solution? No, not really. I don't have a good solution.
And is anyone from Captain's crew interested in going to tavern as well? Maybe not with
Says, oh
tribe,
yeah,
but
my some of my people are already over there. So
but maybe
yeah.
just like drink on away from tribe and watch, and if there is trouble, come back and tell ship.
He says, you'll have my men's backup if needed, though we're probably not going to get involved unless we think you really need our help. Just,
Understood.
just
Beryl meant more as way to inform tribe and ship if something goes wrong, but help is also.
Yeah, I mean, if some of you are going to stay behind and you want to know how your people are doing, I can send a runner. Keep an eye on you.
So what does everyone think? Everyone go or send a delegation of 3 to tavern to begin inquiries?
I vote for everyone to go, just because it would increase the number of ears
True.
to hear.
Okay. AK?
Yep. I
Everyone?
definitely want to go.
Okay. Titus?
And
I think Titus stepped out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to
Yeah, I think
the
he-
RB.
so, yes, I think we should all go, and we should find out what the L in the astral plane tastes like.
Okay.
Alright, so the group sets off from the ship. It's kind of dark out, although that would make sense as there's no sun, but there are some magical lights kind of leading the way as you walk down the street. The stars are just beautiful and in sight all around you. You walk through an area that's kind of closed off. A large, muscular... You'd almost at first assume he's some kind of golem with how big he is, but as you get closer, you see it is some sort of humanoid. Is guarding a market area that's closed up. He gives the group kind of a look as you walk past, like a "don't fuck with me" look. As you get a little further into the settlement, you see a couple of people stumbling past you, laughing, and up ahead is a very much lit up building with the sounds of music coming from within and the smell of tobacco, as well as songs being sung by drunk people. This must be it.
Yes. Let us go.
All right. So you approach the building. It doesn't look like this is an inn. It's just some kind of tavern. It's got a large decorated inside area with a bunch of tables, kind of a bar with a door going back to the kitchen, sort of in the middle, almost surrounded by tables, waitresses running here and there, taking orders. As you enter, a tired-looking Gith would say, "Welcome, friends. Please have a seat, and we'll get you some good food and drink." And then he would kind of run off to what he was doing.
Beryl will play the typical cowardly kobold, which is not entirely an act for her, and be very meek at Hope Collar's side.
Right. Hope Caller will whisper, "Sorry for this. Sorry for this." Cobalt, clean this chair for me. I wish to sit.
She'll like grab a corner of the common clothes or whatever that the pirate gave us, and she'll like use the corner of it to like, wax on, wax off, and like in the seat and back up and like kind of keep her head lowered.
All right, so you wipe down the old wooden seat. Looks much cleaner now.
Oh, really?
Well, it looks about the same, actually. It didn't look all that dirty.
And then we'll have a seat, and I'll see how you guys decide to parse yourselves around me.
I'm gonna stand at like Hope Color's elbow, like I'm like just there to wait for, instructions.
Oh, I need to have a distraction. Throthy, sit.
Why could we just give you this dirty look at the wood seat?
I wish for you to tell me about that plane you come from. Tell me tales of trees.
Why should we just come and grimace and go, well, the plane I come from is a very unusual one. It is mostly shadow, darkness, and all things good. I come from lands that are backward in nature, to some anyway. I've not been on this plane for long, but my family was indentured and from a tribe of magical beings, so I might have that type of gift, but I've never explored it.
Yes, you're a bit exotic. So yes, I wish I could find someone like an infernal or a tiefling. A tiefling, yes, a tiefling would be good.
So as you are talking, a tired-looking Gith walks over. She says, sorry about the wait, friends. And she would hand you something strange, what appears to be a scroll that is, or paper, that is kind of surrounded by a weird shiny material. And she, like, plops one down in front of each of you. She says, this is a list of our services, drink, food, all that. My name is Mzel, and I shall be serving you this evening. Welcome to the Night's End. Or sorry, the Night's Edge. And she says, you all look like you're new here. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. I was wondering if there is a place where more exotic captures are found. Animals, slaves, things like that.
Give me a persuasion.
Oh.
She says, "Oh, sir, such trading is not allowed here. Within Minos, the Queen's Navy is very particular about animal trading. So you probably have to go through them to get the proper permits. But there are sometimes slave trades allowed as long as the slaves are properly secured. It looks like you kind of, you might have some there with you.
Yes.
I guess she would only give menus to the two of you since everyone else is kind of in irons.
I probably am actually, like, because he didn't motion for me to sit down, and I am a paid guard.
I'm just standing there.
I'm 4 feet back or so, just watching over everything.
She says, "But yeah, if you're just trading in like slaves, the market is open in the morning. As long as you have the proper paperwork for such trading, of course."
Yes, but sometimes one wants to browse first, just to see some of the more interesting specimens.
Give me another persuasion. So she kind of sizes you up a little, like looking you over carefully. She says, you're a Yanti, yes?
Yes.
She says, I know some Yanti are on the board with the Queen's Navy. I wouldn't suppose you know any of the local soldiers or speak with them.
I'm not from this port, nor have I had direct dealings with that house.
She says, well, not saying I know anything about illegal trades, but I might be able to find out something if so inclined.
Ah, yes. Do you have an expanded menu, perhaps, that I could peruse on what to purchase?
She says, well, such menus come with a bit of a cost. She gives you a wink.
Yes. Satisfactory.
And she looks like she expects a bribe.
Oh, well, fuck. I don't know how many galleons I should give her.
Well, how many are you gonna try to give her? I
I
mean, doubloons?
Can I take a glance at the doubloons. Can I take a glance at the menu? Like, how much is like? I don't know the pricing of things.
It's actually pretty cheap. Most of the food comes with drink, and it's like 1 doubloon for a whole meal.
Okay. So
the most expensive thing on the menu is some of the drinks, which go for like 4 doubloons. Looks like yeah, some specialty drinks.
All right, that works. I will lay down 8 doubloons. Yes, 8 doubloons, and say, yes. For some drinks, I think this should be enough. Yes.
What's your passive insight? Is it just 16?
Passive?
I
believe it's 15.
Oh, wait, sorry, I was looking at the wrong name. There it is, okay. She would say, of course, sir. I can, let me see what I can get you, as she pockets the doubloons and says, what about, do you all want food or an actual order, or are you just here for the ambiance?
They've been particularly entertaining, so if you could, just simple ale for everyone.
She nods, asking for 1 more doubloon for the ale.
Yes.
And
put that on the doubloon.
Alright, so she wanders off for a moment. You see her walk over to the barkeep and kind of whisper something. He would look over at your group and whisper something back. Do any of you wish to do anything? It's very loud and lots of singing and I forget what the name of the word is, drunkenness. But it's a very lively atmosphere as actually fairly
sober.
Yeah, fairly talented bard plays music. People clap and throw some, usually like 1 doubloon up on the stage at most. What do you all want to do? Or are you just waiting?
Or how close are we sitting to like other seated patrons?
It's pretty full tonight, so there are people all around you.
Errol will kind of listen for the conversations at the nearby tables just between.
So there's mostly Gith Yankee in here, but there are some other races. You would see a few deep dwarves at one table. You would see a table of drow, and you would see 2 Yanti sitting over in the corner speaking. As for the those are the races that aren't Gith. All the rest of the patrons here seem like they're Gith.
If I, having cast it many times before, if I was to cast Enhance Ability on Hope Caller while the servant has stepped away, or the serving girl has stepped away, would that be obvious?
Pretty obvious just because of how close everyone is. You'd need like subtle spell to hide that.
Yeah, she cast it enough times. I think she would know whether it was.
Yeah, I think we should go for just trying to pick up rumors and things, trying to get a general idea of what's going on.
I would try to very quietly, and very respectfully, as a slave to a master, inform my mistress of the Yanti that I see across the room, just in case she hasn't noticed them. Oh, never mind. Your perception
I got
is
a pretty
good,
good
Beryl.
passive.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
assuming he might have given that to Beryl because of her perception, but yours is pretty much as good. So
Yeah. So, all right. Let's find out what we can find out.
Alright, so some time passes, and the woman would return. Emzel will hand you a piece of paper, and the paper seems to have some names on it and some numbers that you don't really know what they mean. She says, these are all the people who are trading in the cargo you're interested in, who are in port right now.
Ah, very nice.
And she would nod and say, of course you did not get this here.
It's what?
She smiles and says, and here's your ale. And she hands some ale out to, I guess, Hope Caller and Titus.
Yes.
Just give a nod.
well, and Hope Caller has Thoreau seated at the table with him. So
Well, Thorothi's in shackles,
He
though,
is,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She would assume you weren't
still-
ordering for the slaves.
Well, crap. Okay. Well,
He did say, they've been entertaining today. Go ahead and give them some common ale.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I thought
did
you
say
meant
that.
your bodyguard.
Oh, good.
All right, so we'll say you said them two, and she has a round for everyone. So you all
Okay,
have,
all
even
right.
though you're shackled, you have ale on the table in front of you.
You can stare at it longing. No, I mean, they have hands sort of free-ish. Enough for that. So.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We should stay until it starts looking like people are either getting exceedingly drunk or they start leaving and then ditch. I just want to hear everything, try to observe what's going on and see if we can overhear anything.
How far, in particular, are we from the dwarves? From where I'm standing, and what is more of a layout here?
So basically, there's tables all around this place. In the front, kind of close to the door, and at about 12 o'clock, there is the bar and the door going back into the kitchen. Next to it, at about 1 o'clock, is a stage where there's a bard playing. Basically, and everywhere else, there's just tables and people eating and talking.
Right, but are we in the center of the room? Or are we off to a side?
You're kind of off to the side, I assume.
All right, good. No, I just want to know if I could place myself in a position where my back is sort of to something, so I'm overlooking Hope Caller, but also getting a range where I could maybe pick up a little of what the dwarves are talking about, because it should be the only language that I know, other than common.
All right.
But I want to stay close so I can aim as a bodyguard. So if
Do you need a
across the
list of
room,
all
I
the
wouldn't-
languages we can speak? Because I can do that, just in case it...
Well, are you trying to listen in to anyone?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to listen for anything that is not common, basically, and see if I can pick up. Because I was assuming if somebody was trying to be sneaky, they would not speak necessarily in common. So I'm looking for...
So close to you, pretty much everyone is speaking common. The
Oops.
people on the other side of the room are a little too far away to hear, at least from your table. The dwarves do seem to be speaking Dwarven. The two deep dwarves who are not right near you, but kind of in the same area. They both look like they've been drinking a bit, as they have several empty tankards next to them, and they're looking kind of goofy as they speak, laughing to each other.
What are their like general appearance? Are they like? Do they remind me of like people I saw on the docks, or do they look like merchants? Or
You would guess they are mercenaries, as they're both armed in plate mail.
Okay.
Actually, that is a funny thing about this tavern. A lot of the people here are wearing armor. Usually, you don't see people in armor when they're drinking. You would also notice that by the bar, there is one of the tallest shadow elves you've ever seen. He stands at about 8 feet tall and looks like someone crossed a shadow elf with an ogre. He has a huge sword on his back, and he's kind of leaning up against the bar every now and then, saying something to the bartender and laughing as he kind of keeps an eye on the place. You would guess
Does he
he's some
look like
kind
he's
of
a bouncer?
security. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far everyone seems like they're on pretty good behavior in here.
Are there any patrons whose purses are pretty visible, not put away under their clothing?
I mean, people do have belt pouches. And none like that are hanging off like by a thread or anything. But
Okay.
yeah. There are some loose coin purses here and there, like on the tables and on belt pouches.
Any near our table, like with the neighbors of our table?
Give me an active perception check.
Oh, dude.
She's just looking around. For particularly easy targets.
There are some fairly well-dressed Gith that have
I need to piss off the Gith.
that both are carrying silver swords and wearing what looks like a light set of plate armor.
Beryl does not know what those things symbolize, but
yeah, they're kind of just talking to each other in a language you understand. They seem like they have pretty nice looking belt pouches. Nice and full.
But they look
Dorothy has the helmet on. Do you hear what they're saying?
What?
Who has the
Dorothy
helmet?
has the helmet of comprehend language, right?
Well, is Thorothy trying to hear what they're saying? I think he's just sitting here right now. Do you ask him that, like in character?
I guess I could lean over and ask. Hey, Thorothy, what's being said around us?
Directly with that, guys listening.
So, yeah, most of the things that are being talked about are not all that interesting. People, let's see, give me an active perception check as you kind of listen into some conversations, trying to remain a little, not too visible while you're doing this.
2 seconds.
Oh, and while you're doing that, Beryl, did you want to do something with that?
Oh no, she was specifically
information?
looking for easy pickings, and those look scary.
Oh, well, pretty much everyone in here looks scary. No one in here doesn't look scary.
Okay.
All these people are wearing strange armors and weapons that make you
Well,
go.
she also heard the captain talking about how we want to avoid the Gith Navy and stuff. So the fact that they're Gith gives her even greater pause.
Yeah, I mean, you're not sure if they're Gith Navy, although you wouldn't know what Gith Navy
Well, she doesn't know
like,
the difference. She sees fancy swords.
Yeah, fair. So Thorothy, you're kind of listening.
It's not bad. 19's a reasonable roll.
There's there's a couple of semi-interesting conversations about recent activity. One person kind of complaining about the Navy increasing their visits. Some other guy complaining that he was being charged extra for trading. Sounds like a bunch of people are not happy with the Gith Navy. A lot of people are complaining about them. One guy, actually, this is the dwarf, and you have he can understand any language, right? With his helmet.
Thoroughly can right now, yeah.
Yeah.
So the dwarves, you don't hear exactly what they say, but one of them says something, and would say, well, no one goes to night weather and comes back. He says those areas are death, which kind of catches your ear. Because you don't think you've ever heard anyone else say night weather outside the group.
I don't know if I can help at all with this, but I was purposely positioning myself closer to them so I could listen to them because the Dwarvish is the only other language I know. That's why I was saying that earlier.
Are you just like trying to walk around near them or something?
I was trying to position myself so I could overlook Hope Collar like a guard, but like closer to them so that I could hear what they were saying, if they were saying anything.
Alright, give
Like,
me an
not
active
too far.
perception check.
We got great perception tonight, guys.
Alright. So yeah, you would kind of overhear this as well. These dwarves mention night weather, which is really odd to you. They don't seem like the type who would know anything about that. But yeah, you can't hear them too well from over here because they are still kind of far away near the corner. But you just kind of overhear like them say something about that.
Alright, yeah, so I was just trying to scoop up more because I had specifically mentioned trying to listen to them earlier. Sorry.
Unless you want to leave the table and physically walk over there, you wouldn't be able to hear much more.
No. I just meant because I know Ferocious's sitting at the table, so I thought not important. I just was like, that's why I wouldn't normally have not piped up and tried to add on to a perception check. I just did that because I had specifically mentioned trying to listen to them earlier. That's all.
Alright, so yeah, what do you all want to do? What about Anna Kate? What's she doing? She's been kind of quiet.
Well, she's playing a mute
Yep.
right now. So.
I'm a mute.
Oh, she's a mute.
No, I would just when the ale is brought, I would nod to the server and then nod to Hope Caller. I would also kind of be looking around to see if there's anyone who looks like might be able to steal from, but probably not going to do anything while I'm wearing.
Yeah, it would be kind of hard to steal with these iron shackles on. Not impossible, but just a little harder.
Yeah,
The chinking sound would be a little.
yeah, I don't like the clanking.
Disadvantage to stealth.
It's extremely annoying to me, who normally moves very quietly, to have all this clanking going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am just pretty much trying to not draw attention to myself.
All right. So as you are kind of listening into those dwarves, a Gith would walk over, looking to Hope Caller. He says, "Are you trading right now? These slaves for sale?"
Girl hangs her head a little lower.
These are my personal menagerie, you could say. They are my attendants in some respects. But I'm always interested in more unusual fare.
He says, "Well, I'm buying, not selling Yanti. Looking to add some labor to my forces. These humans look a bit strong. So they're not for sale then?"
No. But
Gish.
please,
She walks away.
sit. Or not.
Yeah, he seems annoyed and just walks away. He doesn't seem interested in sitting.
Is it possible for us to whisper to each other without being overheard, or is it likely that we could be overheard?
You could probably whisper. I mean, it's loud in here, but like no one's really paying much attention to you guys.
Beryl has idea.
Yes, what?
Tribe make more doubloons by selling Beryl, and then Beryl run away in animal form.
That's really stupid idea.
Beryl hangs her head.
They would collar you for real, and it would remove your ability to escape.
Is that how it works, Lou? Do we know
Yeah.
anything about like the colors here being magic dampeners?
You don't know. You're not sure how any collars
That would be
work.
very Wheel
But
of Time.
Also, the you know that Hope Caller might get in trouble if suddenly his slave just happened to escape right after he got a bunch of money for them.
And then
Beryl-
she came back home. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Out of character, I never said you should listen to Beryl's ideas. In character, she doesn't understand why it's not a great idea.
And I like Hope Color just straight up calling you like, no, that's really stupid.
Beryl just hangs her head and keeps listening to the crowd.
I'd walk closer to Hope Caller and lean down and just whisper in. Next time, just entertain the idea. Pretend you have more you could tell, and just say the price for these ones are too high. They're too valuable to you.
I accidentally kick Hope Collar under the table when she calls Beryl's idea stupid.
Aww.
Watch it. But yes, fine.
You're the new one here. You watch it.
This is a really uncomfortable roleplay for me. I don't like being your master. So
Fair. Alright, well, what does the group want to do?
So I guess we'll give it another hour and then leave.
Are you just hanging out and drinking during that hour?
Yeah.
Alright, is anyone doing anything else?
Do we need to do you want me to roll like an active perception check or anything like that? Or...
Are you just listening in for just people giving...
Yeah, we're trying to figure out who here might, what they do, if I should be paying attention to who they are, that kind of thing.
Could we talk?
I was kind of wanting to do that for the first, hour, trying to figure out who here might be related, or might have information, or know someone who has information, and then from there, try to figure out what they're actually doing, so that then we can maybe, if we see them again, we have a point of context or whatever.
I'll kind of nod at the paper that you're probably still holding that the waitress gave you. What do numbers mean?
It's probably the place on the wharf where the ship is.
Yeah.
Where they're docked?
Give me...
Yes, docking station.
I'll say maybe investigation might tell you something, or just intelligence, if you're trying to figure out what these numbers mean.
Probably the same. But I don't know if history would have anything to do with it. Yeah.
No, this wouldn't be history. So, you did see some numbers on some of the areas walking around. These numbers on this paper might relate to that.
Do they seem
Might
like
be-
addresses, or?
Yeah, almost like an identification of certain areas, like an address within the within this port.
Maybe Captain will know.
We should, if we haven't really heard anything just hanging out in the bar other than these, perhaps we should go back and speak to the captain. He might have additional insight on what to do.
Beryl burps as she finishes her ale.
So it's been an hour, right? We've been listening and trying to poke around for an hour. Yeah, let's go back to this. Let's.
It has not been an hour yet, but I
Well,
can
then, yeah,
try
let's-
to pass an hour and see what happens.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm sure it's fine.
So you, I mean, most of the people here aren't talking about anything that valuable to you. Mostly it's just people um, hanging out after a day's worth of work and like enjoying the ambiance of the inn. Not much in the way of any troublemakers tonight, though that big elf is keeping his eyes out. You would pick up that, yeah, like I said, there's some discontent for the military. Whenever they drop in, people seem to lose a lot of money. But other than that, like if you're not actively talking to people, you're probably not going to get much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you wouldn't get any random like epiphanies of information just by listening to some of these guys. Like I said, the dwarves.
Maybe I'm talking about like Bob's Emporium is a good deal on blah blah blah.
I mean, yeah, there's some talk of trade. Nothing about trading slaves or where your friend may have ended up, or like some, some whatever race he was getting picked up somewhere. You don't hear anything like that.
Yeah,
That's right, tiefling. Yeah. So yeah, nothing like that obvious. Probably the most intriguing thing was the tidbit of what you heard from those dwarves. And they're still talking over there, but you can't hear them this far away. You probably have to get closer.
Actually, Hope Caller didn't hear that for whatever reason. She was trying to listen to other things. Because I rolled a really crap perception check. So
I think you said Titus and Thorothy might have heard it.
Yes, Titus and Thorothy are the ones who heard it. I'm not sure if they mentioned it to anyone though.
I mentioned it.
All right, so Thorothy would have pointed that out. That for some strange reason, those dwarves over there were talking about night weather.
Ah, well then, yes. I will gesture for Emzel to come back over.
She will quickly run back over, annoying several other patrons, and say,
Like the tip.
"Yes, friend. What can I do for you?"
Yes.
What about our order? And she says, "You will wait." Kish.
We're gonna make some enemies now.
What's the thing that they say? Gek. Yes. Can I help you?
Yes, I would like to buy around for those dwarves over there. I wish to speak to them, but I want to make them happy first.
Of course. What sort of drink would you like to buy them? Something elite or just some normal ale?
Let's go with something. This is like, and Hope Caller in the back of her head is screaming, "This isn't my money." And I'll hand like a couple of doubloons and have her go with that.
How many doubloons are you giving her?
Just like a couple, like two.
Two? Alright. She nods and says, very well. I shall send them over drinks and tell them it was from you. So some time passes. They get their drinks, kind of look surprised, and she would point over towards the table. One of them would raise his mug and smile at you and say, "Thank you, friends." He says, "Why don't you come over here?"
Of course. And head over.
He says, "You can bring your slaves, too, as long as they're well behaved."
Oh, yes, of course. Come.
Not all of us are.
Alright, so you go switch tables. Their table is a bit small to accommodate all the extra people.
I will stand at one of the corners.
Yeah, one of the dwarves kind of yells at the people in irons and says, "Over here, you don't get a seat." And they kind of laugh. So, friends, what are you doing? What are you doing in this place? I forgot what Minos. He says, "I'm assuming some kind of trade, slave trade, perhaps."
Mostly looking for kind of exotic things, mostly. Interesting stories, interesting places, interesting people to gather up. So, one thing that piqued my interest is the word night weather. I've heard this before.
My word. We are not subtle.
Give me
Sorry, go
a persuasion check.
Dude, like, you're talking to Hope Caller about night weather.
It's like
okay?
all
It's like,
excited.
it's not gonna
He's
be.
like, what do you know about
Yeah.
night weather?
Oh,
She's really trying to
night
hold it,
weather,
like,
huh?
tamp it down. She really is trying to tamp it down.
We thought
Vlad was the same
Vlad
way,
was
though.
unsubtle.
Vlad was the same way, though. He spilled all the beans when we were trying to get intel.
No, she's been pretty elusive, pretty, like, chill, and doing all that stuff. And then, like, night weather is like, what was that? So, yeah.
Give me a persuasion. So he looks at you kind of curiously now, and he says, you with the Navy or something? And his demeanor sours a bit.
What the name? No.
Titus would let out a laugh.
They're talking in common now, by the way. They assumed
Yes.
you spoke common.
No, I just, I find these odd, special locations fascinating. I have done some reading on this night weather, just not everything, but some things, and it piqued my interest. Nothing else was really seemed to be fun.
Says, well, I mean, yeah, a lot of folks who roam the stars have heard of the portal leading to Vevisic Prime, and that's the way you go if you're looking for night weather. Though it's common knowledge that any who go through that portal can't return. Apparently, it's a one-way trip. And supposedly somewhere in there is a city of night weather. Lots of pirates worth their salt have gone through the portal hoping to pillage that place. No one's come back. In fact, no one who goes there comes back. At least that's what they say.
That sounds like what I have read. I was hoping that you had heard something new.
He says, nah, my friend here was just talking about how we should go check it out, but, we got family here. I got no wish to be stuck in some place I can never get out of. I mean, there's rumors about what that city's even like. I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my days living there if we can't get back. For the most part, that portal is off limits. The Navy guards it pretty closely. They do send people in there every now and then, but everyone knows if you go through, you don't come back. Not sure what exactly they're looking for by sending people in the first place.
It might be their dumping ground, is what you're saying.
Because I don't know. Gith Navy, it's hard to say what their purpose is sometimes. The Queen is kind of mad in some of her machinations. But the rumors about night weather, intriguing. The type of magics they say are there. So, only pirate might try to go on an adventure, but going through there might be his last. Says me,
Yes.
I just enjoy the stories that come from some of the ships that ride on the edge of space. Night weather was just one of the more interesting ones.
Do you have any other tales about the edges? Sometimes you find some interesting things in those places.
Well, I don't know if I'd say interesting, but definitely dangers out there. And he starts going into tales of like huge beasts that fly through space, the illithid squid ships that will capture and basically convert people into mind flayers. very dangerous, he says. Even within the Queen's territory, forget outside of it. If you go outside the protections, you don't know what you're going to encounter. Either way, there's
Yes.
adventure out there.
And I hope Weather will scowl when the word illithid is mentioned.
He laughs. He says, yeah, none of us like him either, for obvious reasons.
Yes.
Titus would speak up from over Oakweller's shoulder and say, Master, if I
Yes.
may. You guys mentioned hearing stories from, ships in deep space. A little while ago, one of my companions went missing. Lost at sea. I'm not exactly sure where they went. Have you had any stories of someone just popping up out of nowhere? All their stuff scattering amongst them and then...
Says, was he on a lost ship or something?
No. He's not from the astral plane. He's just a friend. And word got to me that he had a little mishap with a bag and a...
He says, oh, are you all not on skiffs out here? Are you from, you guys from Gaian? You look like prime material planers.
They
You have
I
humans
like
with you.
exotics. I like exotics, so yes, some of them are.
I see.
We have contact with people from Gaian. I'm originally from Gaian, but I haven't been back in a long time.
Says, well, I mean, if your friend is lost out in the astral sea, he's probably dead at this point. No one really survives out there. Otherwise, maybe he got picked up by a ship. I mean, and the other one says, could be on the black market. He says, yeah, it could be maybe being sold as a slave somewhere. It's usually what happens if someone picks you up and you can't defend yourself. He thinks. He says, you could check in with the deep markets around here. They might have some information. He says, also there's the Queen's Navy garrison. They sometimes pick up people while wandering the stars. Maybe he's imprisoned with them. Otherwise, yeah, wouldn't know where to point you. Those are my two suggestions for starting. He says some of the Gith here might be with the Navy. They might be like off-duty soldiers. Just look for the ones with the silver swords.
Yes, but sometimes it seems to be difficult to have an inn to talk with them.
Another one laughs. He says, yeah, they really can be assholes sometimes. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you unless you're gonna break into the garrison and like steal their ledger or something. You're gonna have to talk to someone.
Ha! Oh, that would be that is not my desire, to say the least.
And a Kate perks
Yes.
up.
I shift my armor so it jings a little and I go, it's not my strong suit.
I mean, has any fool ever tried that before?
He would pause a moment and he says, I mean, people have, stolen from the Gith Navy before, but it's dangerous. He says, if you're a wanted person, these type of places are hard to visit unless you hide yourself well. He says, though, I mean, the Gith Navy doesn't have full control here. There's definitely kind of a wrestling for power that kind of goes on between a couple of the factions. So I guess you could alienate them and still be able to sort of trade. You just have to watch your back.
Hmm.
He says, why, you thinking of breaking into the garrison? You could probably just talk to them.
Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Yes, that would be madness.
He just laughs and keeps drinking his expensive drink.
And Hope Caller is like side eyeing everyone around, like you guys around her. She's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, we're totally doing that.
Heist. All right. So anything else you want to talk to them about or do, or are you just gonna pass time and head back to the ship?
I think we're gonna like spend like, so we're not rude and like look like we just did that, like small talk about like blah blah blah, that kind of shit, and then head back to the ship.
Okay. So you get back to the ship around 10:30. Luckily, you don't encounter any trouble.
I am shocked.
What do you want to do?
See if the captain. Once we're on the ship, let's. I'll like. Oh, here's your stuff back. Sorry for the thing. Beryl, sorry for the seat cleaning. I was just trying to sell it.
Vera understands.
I know that was probably a good idea, but it sucked. All right. Is the
I think you
captain
need to do a
around?
little more smacking around to make it more realistic. Give one of them a whack upside the head and stuff. Just for next time when we're out there.
Tribe may need to do disguises again in morning to go to market.
So
Yes.
if you look around the ship a bit, you would find the captain kind of in the galley area having some drinks with several of his people. He says, tribe, come join us. How did your inquiry go?
Some leads.
Excellent.
Yes. You wouldn't happen to know the area around here, yes?
You talking about Minos or the space in the area?
Minos.
He says, yeah, I know it pretty well. Been here a bunch. Yeah, I'm gotta be careful when I do come here because there is some military presence, but still, it's pretty easy to hide.
Yes, nobody here seems to like them.
He laughs. He says, "No one. The only ones that are more hated than the Queen's Gith are the Illithids, just because they capture and make people into their kind."
Yes, all Illithid should die.
He nods. He says, "I don't think many would disagree with you on that, but yeah, no one really likes the Queen's navy either. They're bolsterous and they push everyone around and they tax people, and you can't really stand up to them or else you'll get thrown in irons. So no one likes them."
We seem to have found a couple of leads. But I'm not sure about the directions. I think these are locations.
So he looks at the paper.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, these are coordinates. I know where these places are. This looks like some kind of a black market manifesto.
Yes.
Says, all right, yeah, I can give you the locations of these people.
And there's one last question. The garrison. And like Hope Caller's looking around. Like the moment I say garrison, do you all like perk up?
Yeah,
Anna Kate like cracks her knuckles.
I'm like, yeah, this sounds like a plan.
So, well, there's this thing. They mentioned that perhaps if we're looking for someone who's been picked up, that the garrison would have a ledger of recent like people they've scooped up from the astral.
Nods. He says, yeah, they probably would. I mean, they have jails in there, so they might even have some people in there. You thinking maybe they have your friend?
Well, the idea of it was mentioned to us that the ledger might have a list of the people they've recently found, even if they're not here, and that would be a lead to getting the person we're seeking. But of course, it would be difficult to get our hands on a ledger. We're wondering if you knew anything about that.
Says, well, I've never had to do a prison break or anything around here. Yeah, I'm not sure where they keep something like that. I mean, I guess you could just ask them, but you probably want to be disguised as a Gith or have someone hire someone who's a Gith to talk to them. Because, yeah, they... Actually, wait, you're a Yanti. They might talk to you, but you'd be taking a risk. They might also be curious as to why you're poking around asking about who they have imprisoned.
Is there anything about Vlad that would be something that a Yanti would want to have on staff? Is he a particular like a rare type of caster or something?
He is. Yes, he's a great cook. That's why you'd want him.
Great cook.
But he's a tiefling, and yes, he is a caster. And
Captain, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say sometimes his casting gets a little out of hand, kind of like Thorothi.
Captain looks a little intrigued. He says, "Just how good a cook is this guy?"
You wouldn't believe it.
Says, "We just actually lost our cook. We have one of our people filling in. Not as good, so we're looking for a new cook."
This is.
I mean, right.
Does everyone know that you're looking for a cook?
He says, "Well, not really. I mean, we're not really advertising it to the world or anything. Just we've been on the lookout."
I was just thinking that if it was not a surprise that you would be seeking someone with a cooking experience, it wouldn't be so odd for you to.
No. The Royal Navy has no idea that I'm even here, let alone that I'd be asking about cooks. They'd have me in irons if they knew who I was and what this ship was. I am well hidden from their radar.
Yeah, not such a good suggestion then.
Yeah, please don't mention me at all. I'd be very unhappy.
I think we just. I think we're better off trying to nab it rather than talking to him.
So.
With them, just take it and go.
So, prison break is the good plan?
No. Ledger theft. We're not breaking anyone out of prison. We don't even know if they have them. All we want to find out is if they found them. Then we can take a step from there. If they ever had anyone, can we bail them out or buy them back, or is there anything like that we could possibly do if they did have them and we asked about them?
So the
or
captain
ask about him and he's just locked up.
Captain thinks for a moment. He says, "Actually, I might know someone who you can talk to if you're just looking to figure out who they have imprisoned here. An old friend of mine who isn't exactly on the up and up in the Navy, but he technically is still part of it. I was actually going to suggest you go talk to him tomorrow anyway. His name is Ikvith. He'll probably be willing to get your information if you're willing to pass a few doubloons to him."
I need to make more doubloons.
Captain says, I can supply you with some.
Mistress Hopecaller spent all.
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Beryl thinks Mistress overpaid by reaction from server girl.
Yes.
I got those to be used.
To be honest, in the order, I wasn't the one who did the bar hopping.
The bar hopping?
Yes, I did the ruins searching. I didn't do the
carousing.
The carousing. Yes, that's the word. Carousing.
Maybe Anna, Kate, and Beryl can figure out a way to help with the balloon situation, but Beryl didn't see any good marks in the tavern. At least not safe marks.
I believe the captain said there's places where we could probably exchange currency here.
Captain says,
If you-
I can just give you some doubloons to give to him. He says, you know, you did give me that armor, so I can you know, at least put 10 doubloons towards your cause. He says he might want
Precious-
more, but he would
Precious,
go ahead.
no, sorry. I was just precious metals of Gaia not have any value here.
He says maybe to some people, but just in case, I'll give you, like I said, 10 more towards your cause. I would look into some of the merchants. They might be willing to trade gold for doubloons. You're not going to get a very good price for them, though. Gold coins are less valuable to people who sail the stars. And he would give you 10 more doubloons.
What about ingredients for magic?
He says, oh yeah, there are plenty of casters looking to get hold of those. So
Maybe
those...
this is how Tribe can make some doubloons.
He nods. He says, yeah, the components are always in high demand.
Thank you for contribution. Very kind.
Says, yeah, well, like I said, that armor is going to make me quite a bit more, so I want
Is
to help you
there
find
a
your
arena
friend.
where Titus can win doubloons?
I was gonna ask about that, yeah.
Can what?
Titus very good at fighting and winning money when people watch fight as sport and make bets.
Says,
Gladiator
yeah,
pits.
there are actually some underground fights here. Ikvith can tell you about those. Or at least give you who to talk to sign up.
Awesome.
He says, but yeah, I mean, there's a couple of ways you all could make money. So I would see what your options are, because he probably will want more than the 10, but at least that's a good start. Or yeah, you could just break into the garrison and try to steal the ledger.
Well, Beryl thinks
I think that
contacting-
doesn't involve us fighting an entire navy.
Yeah, Beryl thinks contacting this contact friend of Captain and then maybe seeking out some of people on list is best first choice. Try continue to gather more clues, more leads, more answers perhaps from these persons, and then try maybe decide to make bigger moves depending.
So money first, then
Yeah, Tribe can try to sell some components, and then maybe if Tribe visit market tomorrow, also can look for other possible deals, trades, unattended purses.
I don't know if you guys have any miscellaneous magic items or
Well, Tribe's
usables that could be sold.
Tribe donated some to Tribe HQ in Taivanis recently, but let Beryl look and see what Tribe has.
All right. What about Thorothi? I haven't heard from you in a bit. Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, let's see.
Or are you just kind of sitting?
Not really.
All right, so you're
It's
just
just
kind
gonna
of
be sitting and following along with what happens.
just listening in. All right. So are you ready to pass the evening?
Well, I was gonna try one more thing to see if we can make a little more money off of the people on the ship, but I would say, are there any of your men fancy themselves a big drinker? Want to bet on a drinking contest this evening?
Oh, Titus, which
So-
armor did you trade?
As you
The
say
armor
that, pretty much everyone at the table looks at what looks like an orc sitting there with like an eye patch, a broken fang, and a bunch of scars on him. He smiles and says, "Yeah, I'll drink against you if you want to bet."
Do we
The
have anything
captain
left,
says,
Volkov?
"You better be good if you're going against him."
Well, I have beaten giants, but no using that mug I stole.
No, this isn't the guy you sold the mug to.
No, I As long as we still have a little bit left to bet and everybody's okay with it, I'd give it a shot. But it's just a gamble at making some money. I have a pretty strong constitution, but it's up to everybody else.
Um, if I join this, would they actually let me?
Join the drinking game? Yeah, if you want to put money up.
Sure.
He says, if we're going to do this, I'm going to say at least 10 doubloons. Bet. The captain laughs. He says, the amount I just gave you, huh? And the orc smiles.
Beryl believes in you.
It's up to you guys,
Sure.
because I was just gonna say the last little bit we had left from earlier, not the money
Before?
the captain just.
Yeah, we
gave us,
currently have 14 now that he gave us some, but that's all.
Yeah, so actually Hopecaller wouldn't have enough to buy in.
Actually, could I bet an item?
He looks
Yeah, okay,
intrigued.
guys,
He
here's,
says, what do you got?
Here's some stuff. I'm gonna put in the chat.
I will put up 3 potions of greater healing.
No, absolutely not. Beryl smacks you.
No. Trust.
These are
I'm
too
very good
valuable for
drinking.
Titus and other frontliners.
I'm very good at drinking. Trust.
He says, well, I could always use some more potions
Beryl will
of...
pull out the moon touched short sword that's wrapped in a blanket and be like, how about this? And she'll move the blanket aside so they can see how it glows.
The orc just looks at it, looks at the potions, says, a potion will probably come in more handy. But I'll tell you what.
Not available. Beryl takes a whole week to brew those.
Beryl's just like, now she has become the Star Wars monkey. Just like hopping around yelling at them. Woo!
That's way more than.
I have great
I feel like you
confidence.
could have sold that for way more than 10 doubloons too.
I got great confidence. Don't worry.
He says, well, you don't have to bet all 3. He says one of those, if that's actually a greater healing, one of those would be fine for your.
Well, then just one.
pot.
Then just one. That's fine.
So as much as I'd like 3 greater healing potions, I don't want to rip you off too
Beryl
much since you're
still
friends.
does not agree with this. She glares at you for offering the potions
Arms
that she
crossed
works so
and-
hard on brewing every time we have downtime.
It's
So much
fine.
for that master and slave thing, huh?
All right, so there's 20 doubloons and a greater healing potion in the center of the table. He
Beryl
says,
huffs.
all right.
Puts away the cursed moon touch short sword that she did not reveal was cursed.
So he brings like a bunch of bottles of wine over to the table. He says, all right, let's get going.
right.
So starting off quickly, I need, or starting off easy, I need con saves DC 10.
All right.
All right, I win.
Hang on a second.
Ugh. I'm.
Off to a great start.
So,
off to a bad start.
all right, so he doesn't seem affected at all. Continue to drink. Con saves DC 15.
You're immune to poison.
He just keeps posting this.
I'm gonna use Indomitable.
It's because you lost your tankard. Your tankard was your lucky
Yeah,
charm.
my lucky tankard. I'm gonna use Indomitable. I'm not
Okay.
allowing this to happen.
Oh no!
God.
So Titus is out after 2 drinks. He just falls down.
Anicate's laughing.
His head's on the table. He throws up a little.
That was totally worth it.
The orc laughs. He says, looks like I only have one real contender tonight. Says, ain't the first time I drank against the Yanti. And he gives you a wink.
Oh.
Let's go for something a little stronger.
He says, oh, don't worry. We'll get there. And he gives you another little smile. All right. Con save DC 18. You are still immune.
Whoops, wrong one.
Let's just start posting all our abilities.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot. I passed those.
Why?
I was kicking checks. What a fucking moron. I have an +8 to those.
Oh, can he still be in
Oh.
then?
You still would have filled.
Yeah,
The
you would have
first one I-
filled the second one with the 6, because that's a 14. You needed an 18.
All right. Is there any chance I'm still alive though?
I mean, you're probably like out of it, kind of passed out a little, but
It's like
yeah.
three
All right.
sheets to win, man. That's fine.
All right. I'll give in.
All right, so he brings out a weird-looking bottle, and he says, "Let's test that immunity of yours." And he winks at you. And give me a poison save DC at advantage. DC 20.
Well, there you go.
I mean a con save.
Okay. An advantage?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I have that. All right, never mind.
All right, so this stuff tastes a little weird to you, and it's been a while since you've actually felt something from drinking. But yeah, you would make it. And he says, "Oh, well done. Looks like you're better than the other guy I fought off against. All right, let's
What
keep
is
going."
this? This is great. What
He
is this?
says, "Mind Flayer juice." He gives you a toothy grin.
Ew.
This is the stuff of legends. If you can drink this and not lose your sanity, well, I'll be impressed. Says, "Don't worry, you wouldn't actually go crazy, but you might end up like your friend there." He motions to Titus, who's drooling. Says, "All right, let's keep going. DC 22, and I will give you advantage still."
All right. Yeah. Why is this not? There it goes.
Oh, do you have anything?
Huh. Do I? Let's see. Do I have anything? Cause I think it's hilarious. I could do a story point.
Do you want a story point?
Give me just a quick second to go back through my character real quick.
So even he is starting to look a little like a little affected by this stuff now, as you see like or you hear a hiccup suddenly. He's like, "Whoa,
He's just hoping to outlast you.
ooh, yeah, this stuff fell." Put some
Actually,
hair
can I
on
use
your
an
chest.
inspiration, or do I have to use a story point?
At this point, you'd have to story point. You have to call an inspiration
I'll be
before the
inspiration
roll.
on your next one if you make this one with your story point.
All right, I'll do story point.
She's already got advantage. Inspiration doesn't help.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay,
She does
well,
have
yeah.
advantage. Oh no! Bad
Ooh.
rolls.
Nope.
All right. So yeah, you haven't. I don't know if you've ever felt drunk, but you suddenly get all fuzzy, and yeah, your vision starts to go blurry, and like last thing you kind of see before you put your head down is him smiling. He says,
God damn it.
"Almost got me there. I will say your friend's impressive," as he's taking the doubloons and the potion. He says,
Beryl
"No,
looks grumpy.
he's
Shows
grumpy."
her teeth.
Oh.
So yeah, Titus and Hope Caller are kind of passed out on the table there. And as the orc is stumbling away, he almost falls over and is like, "Whoa. Whoa."
Oh man.
Yeah, he just made his save. He rolled like exactly a 22.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, so you two probably wake up a little while later with a horrible headache. And everyone's probably left by now. I don't know, Beryl might still be there scowling.
Still scowling.
Xana,
She's still scowling.
yeah. Some say she's still scowling to this very
So
day.
now Tribe has 4 doubloons and 1 less healing potion that takes Beryl a week to make.
Is that Aranicate and Thorothea doing anything during this time that they're
Laughing.
passed out?
That's
Anacate's
what
just
Beryl
laughing.
says too. That's what Beryl says to Color when she wakes up. Yeah.
Mostly laughing and face palming.
Yeah. It's a
Oh
lot
my
of-
God.
I will try to, I'll just flirt with some of the pirates, but
All right.
I'm assuming that none of them appear like easy marks that I could steal from. So
Are you trying to flirt with them to like get in their room and steal their stuff?
not necessarily get in their room. I'm just maybe trying to steal what they have.
Oh, it's like
Find shit in their
pickpocket.
room.
Give me a persuasion.
Okay. That's
Oh.
great. That is great.
Kate is rusty with her Riz. So yeah, you say a couple of like weird things to some of the pirates, and unfortunately are not having much luck as they all just kind of walk away from you after a short conversation.
No, like, I think she said she had chlamydia. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's like, why is she telling us that as they walk away?
I thought it was a funny story. Okay, never mind.
Must have misread that one.
How are the pirates armed?
Most of them have just like sabers or swords of some kind, shields, crossbows for ranged weapons. Some of them have javelins.
No spears
Or
or hammers.
You might see one or two wielding a spear.
All right. I will go up to those who have a spear, and I will show them the spear +1 from my inventory. Be like, look, tribe has fancy, extra strong spear. Would be interested. Tribe needs donations.
Poor Beryl. So the pirate is trying to make back the money you lost.
Trying to make some money for the tribe to go do what we need to do tomorrow.
He says, "Oh, that is a fancy spear. How much you want for it, little one?"
Well, Pharaoh doesn't understand astroplane economy.
10 to 1 bought for gold, I believe, or would you say 15 to 1 last
Oh,
time?
is there an exchange rate? Because I'd asked at the beginning of the section.
Yeah, like
You mentioned it a little bit last time.
Well,
from
yeah, like I said, we don't know exactly what it is, but it's roughly 15 to 1.
yeah,
All right,
from
Beryl's gonna be
trading
like-
with them, yeah.
Errol's gonna be like 50 doubloon because she's not gonna like do the math or anything anyway, and that sounds like a lot to her since we've only had 15 at the most so far.
Give me a persuasion.
Oh gosh, she's not good at this. All right. Am I inspired? I'm inspired. Okay, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Where is persuasion? There it is.
He says 50. Whoa there, little one. That's a lot of doubloons. I mean, that's a nice spear, but that's
Well, Beryl made offer. Now you make offer back.
He scratches his chin. He says, "Well, all right. How about 20?
Party.
Give me another persuasion." He says 25, but that's as high as I'll go.
Somebody has to roll well tonight.
27.
Give me a persuasion at disadvantage.
Oh, no.
It
I'm
says,
gonna
"You heard."
I'm gonna use story point.
Oh wow! All right.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay, 25.
He says, "All right, deal," and he gives you 25 doubloon and takes the spear.
Use well.
Says, "Yeah, this is light. I like it." He stabs
I
with it
mean-
a few times. Hup, hup.
Beryl
Big
also
old
has
hammer.
fancy hammer. Who should Beryl talk to about the hammer? She'll ask him.
He thinks. He says, "Well, is that a war hammer or like a smithy hammer?"
Warhammer.
He says, "I don't know anyone who uses war hammers, but you could ask around. We mostly use swords. And of course, spears."
Beryl has a fancy sword too. It glows. There's a tiny problem where it's hard to put down once you pick it up, but it's very pretty.
The other friend of his says, "Wait, you just described a cursed sword."
Oh, is that what it's called?
He says, "Yeah, that's a cursed sword if you can't put it down."
Okay. but it still works. You can still fight with.
Sounds like they need a
They
cursed
just
people,
kind of
right?
both narrow their eyes at you. Like, you shouldn't sell cursed swords to your friends, little guy.
Okay. Well, I promise spear not cursed,
How are you,
and neither
friend?
is hammer.
Yeah, now he's like looking at the spear and like gently tries to put it down. He's like, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, don't.
talk
He
to you
says,
next week.
"You shouldn't sell cursed weapons. You might annoy the captain."
Oh, but it's so pretty.
He just
See how it glows?
shakes his head. All right, so what are you gonna do?
I'm going to add 25 doubloon to our measly little 4.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go.
Beryl's trying to make up for her drunk parents. She's
And then I'm
spending
gonna
all
go
her
around
money
the ship showing off the warhammer and letting people swing it
trying to
and
sell it.
see if anyone's interested.
You don't tell anybody to pick up the sword. Here, try out the sword.
No,
Sure,
but
You're not gonna give it back. You gotta pay for it.
I don't actually want to piss these people off because they're kind of our ride right now. So and they're helping us a lot.
I mean,
So after being told that that's
technically, you
frowned upon,
almost tried
put it away.
to sell them a cursed weapon before they told you not to. So
Oh, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, Beryl legitimately would say like the fact that it's pretty and glows like is really important, and you know,
I just think that we are a party that's built for fighting, not so much.
not for common sense.
Yeah,
Not
put it on
for
the table with
politics.
his head down. You hear, next time, just fighting.
I mean, okay, so when the tribe found that weapon, Vala picked it up. She couldn't put it down. She used it for a few combats. We all laughed, and then Beryl cured her. And it was like, so to Beryl, it's not that big a deal.
All right. Well, it sounds like they might take it personally if you curse
Yeah, so
one of
she
their
puts it
crew
away.
members.
But I would still see if there's anyone interested in the hammer. Because these are like, I mean, they're
Apparently the,
nice weapons, but they're not like make or break for us. So I figure if we can get some.
Yeah, apparently
Starter,
the
yeah.
curse humor doesn't translate out here very well.
Oh,
Can you figure
apparently we
the-
have
the
apparently we have
captain who-
2 of those Warhammer +1s.
Yeah, if the pirate captain who we're staying with is better armed, that's probably good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the pirate captain. Yeah, he looks like he. Well, I guess you couldn't tell for sure if his weapon was magical, but it does look like it's at least masterworked. It looks really fancy.
Nice.
He has a rapier and a like a punching dagger.
We have 4 scythe +1s, so that's why she was kind of asking what kind of weapons people were carrying. But I know the scythe is kind of an unusual one, so.
No, I kinda
Well, give me a persuasion check if you're
For the
trying to
Warhammer?
sell some more of the magical
For anything?
weaponry.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show the scythes as well, but I'm probably expecting the Warhammers to be the most likely to fetch a price. Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
And I'm out of stuff to do, so there we go.
So
Nobody
yeah,
was like,
a lot of the
I
crew.
scared them all away with the cursed short sword.
Well, some of them are interested, but they're offering a lot less than you'd want. Like
How
more
much
like
less?
5 to 10 doubloons for the magical weapon.
Don't die.
A lot of them don't
What?
have the money to
Yeah.
afford.
Yeah,
That just further points out like, well, that's fine.
No, yeah. Beryl's got the 29 now, 25 plus the 4, so she feels a little better because, we started out with 15 today and we got a little information, so maybe 29 will get us a little more information tomorrow.
Let's just be a little bit more thrifty with it this time.
Yeah.
Immediately, Hope Caller's like, round 2, let's go. Just throws the 10, another 10 down. He's like, I got you this time, Mork.
All right.
No.
And there aren't any people on the crew that Beryl senses any kind of druidic affiliation with.
Probably not. No, I mean this crew is mostly just brigands. You don't think any of these people are druids or even magic users for that matter.
We gotta find ourselves a druid to sell that bell branch to. All right, that's all. That's all she does for the evening.
All right.
I mean, she
And
carouses a little bit.
And she goes back and just stares at Hope Caller as she wakes up and just gives her a death stare. Make sure she's there when he wakes up.
Ow. So, this is, ouch, a hangover? Interesting. Why do you people drink?
Is it the next morning?
No, it's it's during the evening as Titus and Hopecaller are coming to, and Barrel's there staring angrily at them, I assume.
I mean, not angrily, but yeah, she's still like putting on a.
Maybe just sternly, arms crossed.
Oh, actually, I
Usually
know
drinking
because that would be the
before,
morning thing. Because we're still like partially drunk because we're just conscious now, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing you like kind of wake up and stumble to bed.
Barrel will.
And I'll wake up, see Barrel, and then be like, "So, did we win?"
Barrel like humphs and says no.
Oh, well.
Tribe have only 4 doubloons now.
Oh, well. Shit. I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right, so
If we pass the long rest, Barrel will prepare protection from poison.
yeah. So
I don't know. She wouldn't have a hangover because she doesn't have poison, but I don't know what the magical effects of drinking my
Oh, yeah. Would that even work on whatever he gave her? Considering
probably not, because she's immune to poison. So whatever it was
Mm.
is probably like more like a magical thing than poison.
What about Titus?
It's like a magic duration kind of thing.
Like, will there be effects in the morning because of the drinking tonight for both of them?
I mean, maybe Titus probably knows that he has to drink a lot, so maybe he can. I mean, they'll get a saving throw, basically.
Okay.
So the night would pass. Go ahead and long rest if you need to. And yeah, you two can give me new saving throws. The DC's only 10 at this point. I guess you'd be immune to it, Hopecaller.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This
you're.
time I clicked the right one.
Luckily, your body processed whatever that was over the night, and you feel mostly okay in the morning.
Barrel would pull Titus aside and be like, next time, Titus needs to talk with Barrel in advance, and Barrel can help.
It's not a drinking competition if you cheat. Then it's just robbing.
Exactly.
But if you're trying to earn money to find Vlad, then it's a humanitarian effort, right? Or an alphatarian? What was Vlad? A Typhlean-tarian effort?
Wait.
A what?
I don't think that's a word.
It's 2.
Typhling-tarian? Alright.
Titus is still stuck on the first one. As soon as he said a humanitarian, I don't know what it means. Stop listening.
Let's give her a weird look. Why don't we do... I was going to say, why don't we do a break? You guys can keep RPing, though. I'm just going to grab a drink real quick.
Yeah, I need to run down real quick myself, so I'll be back.
Don't worry,
I'm all for
Titus, though.
taking from people and having fun, but I like these guys, and I don't want to cheat.
Yeah, so far all we've done is attempt to cheat at a drinking contest, attempt to sell them a cursed weapon. I guess
Hopecaller kind of did, but he knew Yanti's resistances before we even started.
That's bodily function. Just a strong drinker by race.
Well, technically, it was us that was more surprised by her constitution against the poison than it was her competitor. He seemed to know about Yanti's abilities.
Yeah, I suppose. All right, it's a new day. I need to roll personality.
Barrel thinks that someday Tribe will find the perfect owner for the pretty glowy weapon. Barrel doesn't understand why no one wants it.
I've got a great idea.
What?
For those. Well, it involves Anna Kate, but I think if we're really trying to make some money, Anna Kate goes up to a smith, asks him to inspect both the weapons, putting them both out for him to take. He puts them in his hands. She robs the smith's run. He's going to be busy, confused with why these are stuck in his hands.
And then we rob him? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, she takes his gold and runs.
Well, he's got 2 weapons.
He's going to be distracted. He's
2 very valuable
That's
weapons.
why his hands are stuck like that.
He's not going to pick them both up at once.
You don't know that.
I mean,
a pair.
Okay, touche, but it seems like he would examine them one at a time.
I don't know.
Like, if you saw a very lovely, glowing short sword, would you not, like, pick it up with 2 hands because you're planning to examine it quite closely?
Say they surge with magical power when you hold them both at once. Only way to test it is to hold them both at once. I've got
Are
this
Are we
you-
down.
doing this?
Do you
Okay,
consider
if we
yourself
do
to be a
this,
good liar?
if we do
Yeah.
this, no, we're
Okay.
not really. There's not great liars in this group. We're not bad, but we're not great.
Hey, I'm a
Oh
fantastic
no, I'm
liar.
not great.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You have really high charisma, don't you?
I have
I feel
really
like-
low charisma, but I have great deception.
Ah,
I
good.
feel
good.
like Dorothy's probably a pretty good liar.
He's probably better than me. I have a mediocre
I
deception, but
can lie.
I,
I have a decent charisma score.
If you
have a
need us,
what?
sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said, Dorothy. You have a decent charisma score, is that what you said?
Yeah, I have a 20.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah,
decent.
that's solid.
That's solid.
I
We need to have Dorothy talking for us more. Why are we idiots, guys?
Because internet connection.
Yeah.
I can lie all right.
My
though. I
internet connection works. It's just time dependent.
Yeah.
If Beryl had
works
realized
sometimes.
how silver, Dorothy hardly ever talks, so Beryl didn't realize how silver his tongue is. Otherwise, she would have taken him around with her while she was trying to like hawk weapons.
I stand by this whole
Dorothy is the rare instance of a charisma that is based not on talking, but on just looking good.
He's got Riz. Riz Rothy.
Well, what we could attempt to sell the hammers and scythes. Like when we go to the market tomorrow, obviously we're looking for information, and we're following all our other leads. But we could, while we're there, look for potential arms dealers that like maybe we could get some money for those weapons as well. Now, and I'm not saying we need to sell them all because obviously once we leave the astral plane, these doubloons will be useless to us. But I would like us to be in a better place that we can hire and bribe and purchase and stuff as we need to get around here.
Sure. Do you have stores of money when you go back?
I believe so. But that's more Beryl's territory. I don't really know.
So I'm sitting there thinking, like, Lou is like, oh, thank God, they're gonna have to get rid of all their shit again. Hallelujah.
Well, I do think if, depending on how bad the exchange rate is, we could exchange it, and then if we're going back, we can exchange what we have left back for the gold.
Well, the
if we
thing
have
is
the time to do so.
we don't actually have a ton of gold. We spent a ton in the capital. And at this point, most of our wealth is actually back at the Twilight Sanctuary and not on our persons. Well, like we have some gold. We're not broke. We're much better than the common people. But we've got hundreds at this point, not thousands.
Well, let's just get what we need. I just don't want to be in a pinch here where doubloons will get us out of it.
Yeah, true.
And we don't have it, you know what I mean?
Well, and we've been carrying some of these +1 weapons for a really, really long time. So yes, they are valuable items that maybe we could sell for more back home. But that's why Beryl started offering them up, was because like they are things we've carried for a super, super long time that are valuable everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I think a +1 weapon is like universally, no matter where you go, they're gonna be like worth something.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if 25 was worth it, but it was better than the 10 that you got for your tankard, I guess. I feel bad that you don't have your tankard either. That was like your like signature mascot item.
25 is not 25's not bad. That's like
I got 15.
like
oh, you did. You got 15. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I'm all right with that. I mean, we're here to get Vlad.
No, that's actually kind of on par though. Like if 25 is reasonable for a +1, then
it's like
15 might be
25
perfectly
gold
reasonable for
a magic weapon.
a common, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I put it in. Like I said, I don't know if I wrote it in the journal. I forget now, but I did say out loud when we got it that I put it in the group money, like I give it to Beryl to store. 'cause
Oh yeah, someone put it in the inventory, whether it was you or
It was,
Right.
yeah, because I said that out loud when I did it, that it was for the
Oh,
group.
speaking of, I didn't hear what you said when I asked you what was the armor you traded, because I do still have.
I took it right out of mine. It was on me personally, but it was the armor plus
Well, at
one.
one point we said that you were leaving some of them at camp, so you didn't have to carry all three. So I still had them in the inventory. So I just want to make sure I remove. Was it the fire or the necrotic?
It was neither of those. It was a plus one armor. I
Oh,
kept all the
perfect.
ones
Okay,
that
then
have.
that was just from your inventory. Okay, good, good.
Yeah, I have those in there as like mine as well. I can keep them
Gotcha.
and move them up to you guys, but
Okay.
I didn't want to give up the anything with a strong enchantment.
Perfect,
The
perfect.
plus one is very strong armor. Don't get me wrong, but out of all the things we have, I felt like that was the one that
Right,
was.
right. Well, yeah, and when they told me that you traded a thing of armor, or I think I read it in your journal, I assumed it wasn't the ethereal armor. So, I was assuming it was like the fire or the necrotic, but I forgot you had some more in your own inventory. That's part of the reason why we had to put some in the camp inventory. So,
Yeah, so I just didn't want to. I didn't want to give up anything that I thought would be like that's the group item I'm allowed to use. Like in my head, I own Mithril Plate. I felt like that plus one was mine.
yeah.
And I feel like the necrotic armor is mine, but the static plate that has it's still got my name on it for whoever uses it next. The ethereal and the fire are the
Yeah, I
groups.
forgot about the static plate because we just made that for you a couple sessions ago. That's
Yeah, and
actually,
that's the one I'm
I'm
wearing.
excited to see that in
That plate
action.
is
Like,
badass.
yeah, that sounds really fun. That extra lightning damage.
It has been fun. I haven't gotten to use it yet because I haven't been able to hit anything. So.
Is that what you're currently wearing?
Yeah, I'm not
Cool.
taking this off. This is gonna be it unless we're going sneaky.
Well, right,
honestly.
yeah. Like, well, if we go back to the fire giants, then obviously
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fire resistant. If we go back to well, no, Isaac is cleared now. But like, if we go somewhere with a bunch of undead, obviously the necrotic. Like, there's times when you know that those resistance ones are going to be valuable, but when they're not valuable, like, yeah, the lightning or the ethereal has much more fun properties.
Yeah, exactly. And Mithril will come into play for really trying to be sneaky, but that's probably gonna be in the back pocket for a long time too.
Yeah, I forgot you have mithril as well. You're like got the you like get up every morning and you go into your walk-in closet and you've got all these armor like laid out.
It's
He's
very
got his outfits.
yeah, it's very like a room full of Jordans or whatever you see those people with.
I forget. Do we have a magnificent mansion in this group?
What's that called? The sneaker guy?
Yeah. You see the biggest every morning. There's a huge smile on Titus's face. He's looking at his armor.
Titus has the drip.
Yeah. If we ever get a magnificent mansion in this group, we'll have to make sure that we like design a walk-in closet for Titus where he goes in and there's all his armor on display.
My glaives and halberds.
kind of like the bat suits, but it's like full plate.
Yeah.
Little sign on the wall that says paradise.
Little plaques next to each one saying like how you acquired them and your valiant deeds. Like,
All right, you guys all back? We ready to go?
Yeah.
Yup.
All right. So yeah, what are you gonna do? It's the next morning.
think we're gonna be slaves again and go to the market and see what we can see.
All right, so you go out with your disguises.
And I think, how long is the walk from the ship to the market? I would ask the captain.
He says, "Oh, it's I mean, you walk past it getting to the tavern. It's not far. And also, you would notice that even though it is technically daytime, there is still no light out. It's still a night sky."
All right. Well, I would go ahead and put an enhance ability on Hope Collar for charisma, just to start the day out. That's all.
All right. So it does seem.
Dorothy do the negotiations.
Or should I put it on Thorothy?
If he's willing to do
No,
them.
because I'll put it on Thorothy. It's fine.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, both of you. If you and he are doing it, then that keeps up our kind of little act with our slavery stuff, and then gives you both chances. Yeah, little extra boost.
All right.
I'm just sighing that. All right, let's get it over with.
So you would notice it's warmer in the morning, even though there's no light. It feels like there's heat radiating from like within the ground here on this like piece of rock that you're walking on. It's almost like an island in space. But yeah, there are more lights out, and you would see the market is now lit up with a bunch of activity coming from within. So you have the coordinates to see some of these different people. Or are you going to the market first to try to buy and sell stuff?
Yes.
Oh, and you also have the coordinates to meet with his friend, that Gith.
I think that contact or any of the contacts on the list that you got from the barmaid probably should be our priority. But while we're walking through the markets and stuff on the way to these places, I feel like we should be keeping our eyes peeled for other opportunities, you know?
My
Or-
concern is that if we go to
I think we're gonna go to the
and we
market.
need money,
We're going to go to the market to sell stuff and then start talking to people.
But I'm go with the group. That's my concern that we'd like.
That makes sense. Yeah, sorry.
We need money definitely for his name's gonna get me again, but the captain's friend.
Ikvith.
Ikvith, yeah. We're gonna need money for Ikvith for sure. It was mentioned. If we want to grease his palm enough to get what we want. Otherwise, we can just scan him for information and then maybe get a hold of where that thing is and steal it. Save us some money. But in my opinion, I think going to the market first might be worthwhile, even if it's a short trip, just to get a little extra in our pocket, because it seems these doubloons are worth quite a lot more than a gold piece.
We also have components. Not that I want to empty our coffers, but that is another opportunity for us to get a little chunk of change in our pocket, because it sounds like magical components are the same on all the planes as far as their value, or they're being wanted.
Right.
All right. So the market is filled with people. You would notice also in the morning there are more ships in port. One ship you'd see is very large and has a bunch of symbols on it that you might recognize with history or arcana.
Bear's like doesn't even notice.
So you've never seen one of these, but this is a Gith warship. Heavily armored, definitely from the Navy. It's parked in the port as you are kind of walking past it. There's a bunch of lights on it, and you would see like several platoons of Gith walking around at the bottom of it on the dock, talking to some of the dock workers. Looks like they're loading it up with something. But yeah, the market itself has a bunch of things for sale. You would notice there is a guy with some security there selling magical weaponry.
Ooh.
As well as some masterwork stuff. There is a guy who is selling looks like trinkets. It looks like some of those might be magical as well. Again, fairly heavily guarded, both of the magical item selling stands.
Are there any nooks or alleys that one could step into to cast a spell? Less obviously?
The market's pretty crammed right now. I mean, you could walk out of the market and cast something, like maybe away from all the people.
Don't forget, you are concentrating on enhanceability.
I am, yeah. I didn't necessarily mean me. I just thought in general, like I was just kind of planning in general. Like I assume that we might be interested in seeing if we can trade with this magic item vendor. Either because he might have something that we're looking for, or because he might want some of the items we have. I know they're not super magic items, but if he specializes in magical weaponry, we have 6 of those, not counting the cursed thing or the bell branch.
Well, what are you guys looking to do here? So you have a bunch of contacts who might be selling slaves. You have your Navy contact, and you have these shopkeeps.
Remember, guys, we should not use the captain's name among Gith or Navy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Question. How much, so that me and Thorothi have an idea, roughly how much are these magic items worth?
We
Beryl
have no
doesn't-
clue.
Beryl doesn't understand the currency here yet. Beryl doesn't understand the currency in Gaian. Beryl just has lots of gold to throw.
Yeah, I mean, magical items values can vary quite a bit. It kind of just depends on how much someone's willing to pay for them. But in general, only people with a lot of money can trade in magical items, at least on Gaia.
It might be worth checking stand to see if any items catch Tribe Eye, and then if they do, Tribe can offer other magic items in trade first. And if that's not
Yes.
enough, then Tribe can keep going and try to sell our magic items.
All right, so you want to go talk to the weapons vendor?
Yes. Review his items.
Okay. One moment. So you would see a bunch of arrows labeled unbreakable arrows. There's 20 of them. You would see...
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would see a dagger that's labeled a dagger of venom. You would see a bunch of swords that look like they are magically enhanced, so basically like +1 weaponry, as well as a couple of other +1 items. And you would see a large greatsword. Where is it? A large greatsword that is labeled as a second level enhancement, so +2 basically.
Titus,
All of
how
these
does your
things are
weapon compare?
locked in like display cases.
how does your weapon compare, Titus?
It's on par with that, and I'm not a swords guy anyways.
Okay.
I like pole arms.
But Anna Kate, those arrows would be very useful, yes?
I think so. Although we really have never run out of arrows. That's
True, but then with these, Tribe could dump all of the arrows that Tribe is carrying, and Anna Kate would always have these. They would never
As long
break.
as she had the ability to collect them after battle.
True. Okay, it's up to you. Or anyone else? Like I didn't catch anything that I know is important to any of you, but please speak up if anything else look interesting.
So as you're looking, the merchant, who I'll say is a dwarf, a hill dwarf actually, would say, "You like what you see, friends. I can tell you know quality when you see it." He says, "I got, of course, what you see here. Did anything catch your eye?"
Yes. I was wondering what's your asking for the dagger of venom here.
He says, "Oh, this beauty. Excuse me. Let's see.
Is there like a stand, like a table with a tablecloth on it or something that these are all displayed on, or how are they?
They're
put out?
more in like cases, like display cases."
And those cases are on a table or no?
Yeah, so, well, the cases are sort of under the counter. So they're like,
it's
like a thick glass case.
More like a jewelry store kind of thing.
Yeah, basically. So he kind of takes out the dagger to like give you a better look at it. He says, "This beauty here, this is quite the piece. You got an eye for quality." He says, "I'm selling this one for..."
Now Lou has to do math. Hold on a second.
How many doubloons? Well, now we're going to find out how much our 29 doubloons really is worth. And whether or not the 50 doubloons that Beryl initially asked for that +1 weapon was ridiculous or not.
I mean, this is probably a rare item, I'm thinking.
But yeah, this one might be a little rarer than the +1 spear. Because I assume
Yeah,
this
plus
does
one
extra
spears are
damage, extra poison
I
damage.
think plus one
Probably.
weapons are just uncommon, right?
Yeah, but if this one does extra poison, then that's probably rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dagger and Venom official? I guess I have to go look.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
So this one would be 200 doubloons.
Ooh. And what is just a more basic weapon that has extra oomph like that? And she'll point to like one of the more like basic +1s. What is that run?
He says, "Oh, this one. Well, this beauty here. This one is." What would that be? Sorry, doing math.
No, I understand.
No, we totally empathize.
Wait, I have a calculator. I'll just use that.
Oh, way easier.
So this beauty would be 27 doubloons.
Ooh. So that one's significantly more valuable. All right. So we might only get 10 or 15. The 50 that I asked was... So the 25 was really good, I guess. All right. Anyway, sorry.
How much did you say that was?
The +1 was 27 doubloons.
For a +1 weapon. And Beryl just sold a +1 weapon for 25 yesterday. So that's
actually did great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So if we sold it, we would probably be selling it for like.
So we could
15 or-
try to like offer some of our stuff, but I don't think it's not gonna come up to like my first thought was we could offer a few of our +1s for if you were interested in that dagger, but that 200 is a lot. Yeah.
I will like no, I don't. The dagger was something of a curiosity. But actually, I have acquired some bulk items that I was wondering if you would be interested in selling and picking up from me.
Oh yeah, what do you got?
Some consignment work.
And I'll point to you and snap my finger to Beryl, who has the stuff. And I'll be like, pull out one of each.
I will start with so there are 4 of the scythes, so I'll start with them, and 2 of the warhammers.
And these are all +1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start with 4 scythes and 2 warhammers.
All right, so he's looking them over. Yeah, good quality. I don't recognize the craftsmanship. Is that Elven?
Beryl shrugs.
Yeah, I could use them. I'll give you 20 doubloons each for them.
Ooh.
Okay, now I will be like, my attendant, discuss. And I'll like wave at Thorothy.
Right, we give you that kind of God's sake, and come over.
So as you walk over, the dwarf says, "Oh, who's this?"
My secretary.
Is her protocol droid.
And so you walk up to speak with him, Thorothy?
I would walk and go, name is Thorothy.
So as you walk up to him, for some reason, his ring on one of his fingers begins to glow. He looks down and he says, sorry, I don't deal with people who are magically enhanced.
Oh.
He says, fair trade and only, no magical enhancements for negotiations.
I will walk over and, in a very angry hiss, smack Thorothy upside the head and go, Are you enhancing? No, you were not without permission. And just smack him on the head.
Give me a
And,
deception
like,
check.
are you enhancing? It's like, are you
you
doing
enhancing?
drugs?
Poor Therodi.
Like, tell him to negotiate.
Oh,
The dwarf
Dang.
just like crosses his arms and looks at you. He's like, right.
Beryl
the
like just
14?
hangs her head.
Says, look, do you want to make the deal or not? 20 doubloons each for your magical stuff. He says, I think I have a buyer elsewhere. I can offload these for a nice profit.
Sure.
Excuse me.
Beryl thinks this is a good deal.
Yes.
She hangs her
yes.
head, mistress.
All right. So,
That's
how many
fine.
of the items are you trading him?
I'm fine with dumping the scythes and the warhammers unless anyone has objections. Just because we've carried them for a really long time and they're not extraordinarily rare items, you know.
Yeah, and that's not a absolutely horrible price for them anyway. It's,
What about the
Yeah.
crossbows
Considering
as
what we
well?
just learned, that he's actually not doing too much of a markup. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
he's selling stuff a little cheaper in this port for whatever reason.
Okay.
yeah. All right, that's fine. So 6 at 20 doubloons is
120.
Yeah, so
120.
that would be 120. So he gives you a bunch of doubloons as he takes the magical items and does a quick examination, casting something, and just nods. And then, like, slips them into something underneath the counter. It's
And
not
how
a
many
display
arrows?
case.
How many arrows did you say there were?
There are 20 unbreakable.
Beryl would point to those. How much for those?
He says, oh, those? I'll sell those to you at a doubloon each.
I'll look back to the party, like, and kind of shrug my shoulders because I feel like it could be,
Yeah.
could be useful for Anna Kate, and it's not terribly expensive considering.
Are you going to keep concentrating on enhanced ability?
Okay, so question. Here's the thing. I cast enhance ability on Therodi, or I'm sorry, on
Yeah, on
no, wait,
Thorothy, right?
wait. I cast enhance ability on Hope Caller, and Hope Caller cast enhance ability on Therodi, or at least that's what I thought I heard was happening.
Oh,
that's what
okay.
So I thought it was interesting that he didn't detect it on her.
So I didn't realize it was on her. Well, if you didn't try to what's it called?
There were no rolls.
Haggle.
Yeah, there's no
There were no
haggling.
rolls where it came
Yeah.
into play. Yeah.
So maybe
Mary,
the ring glowed with you, but he didn't say anything because you weren't negotiating.
wasn't negotiating.
I mean, if it came down to that, I would have
but-
dropped it. But if he didn't say anything and there was no consequence, then I'll keep it for now. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he got mad. He just basically like shook his head and said, "Nope, not negotiating with magic enhancement people."
I will let Anna Kate decide. Anna Kate want arrows?
Sure.
All right. Yeah. Unless someone else speaks up, I'm gonna just give the 20 doubloon for the arrows because these could be useful in the future for us.
All right,
And we
so he would fill the quiver with the 20 arrows and pass them over. It says,
All right, so we
"Enjoy."
So we have 129 doubloons. So I think we're decent to go try some contacts now.
He says,
Well,
I'm curious, friend, who made your pole arm? Looking over at Titus.
Ooh.
Just Titus, no.
I don't know. Does he?
No, I got it off a dead guy. I'm gonna.
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest with him. Be like, I stripped her from a man who tried to take my life.
Nods. He says, that's how many get their weaponry. Can I ask what the enhancement on it is?
It's just a +2. I wouldn't know what to say.
Yeah,
I
like
just
second
know that-
grade
so-
magic enhancement is what he'd say if you kind of
I would,
describe it.
yeah,
He says, oh,
describe it and
it's
allow him
not
to take a
bad.
look, like,
yeah, you kind of look. You gonna give it to him to look over?
Yep.
All right, so he kind of takes a closer look. He says, "Oh, that armor's nice too. You guys must hit the jackpot somewhere." What do you got for ranged? How do you handle things closing?
I pull out my javelin of returning.
Nods. He says, "Oh, good setup. Yeah, that'll work well." Says, well, you need a sidearm? He says, or are you just looking to wield a like a rain or a reach weapon?
I mostly work with pole arms, but did you have something in particular you wanted to show me?
Hang on a sec. He says,
We're gonna like $10 doubloons as soon as he shows us something fancy.
Like, it's like, oh god.
Oh, we can always think about it.
Like even if Titus doesn't want to like sidearm, one of us is gonna be like, ooh.
Oh god.
So I do have something you might like. Let me see. And he would bring out from under the counter a glaive that has a bunch of barbs on it. He says, this is something called a vicious weapon. He says, a good strike with it and you'll just cut your opponent to shreds. He says, it doesn't have the accuracy your weapon does, but hits like a truck in the right situation. Or hits like a starship. So I'm not sure what a truck is. It's a vicious glaive, basically. So on a crit, it does an extra 2d6 slashing damage.
So it doesn't have the bonus to your hit, but when
it doesn't
hits,
have the +2.
out.
But like if you crit with it, you do the crit damage plus an extra 2d6 slashing.
Does it have any standard extra damage or no? Like the
It doesn't have any extra damage or attack bonus. It would just be extra damage on crit.
Well, apparently I can't link the actual weapon, just the picture, apparently. Sorry.
Oh, that's a vicious rapier?
Oh, there you go. You get the vicious rapier. Well, I was linking vicious weapon because it like says like how it applies to all. Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
He says, any interest?
What's the price of it?
He says, well, I'd be willing to trade it for your weapon. Otherwise, you're looking at probably about the same thing as that dagger. 200 doubloons.
So the glaive, the vicious glaive would probably be. Would that be rare?
Yeah, it's a rare item.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it would be
it's
on
not
par with
magical
rarity.
either, right?
Yeah.
It is magical.
Is it magic? Considered magic?
Oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, it's a magic weapon.
So that's
But,
totally up to you. It's totally
you
up
have
to
to
you.
think
Titus,
about-
if you want to trade.
You think about how often you miss when you're swinging with your already +2
Yeah.
versus having no +2.
Do you feel like you always hit, or do you feel like you sometimes don't? You
I
know?
feel like I don't quite frequently because I'm always trying to great weapon master. So
Yeah, for great weapon master, it might not be as good.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So like, if hit is important, then maybe keep your +2. If you hit a lot, then the extra damage would be valuable.
I'll stick with mine.
So the extra damage only comes if you crit.
What pig's that? Does
So-
it? Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, that's right. You're right.
If it was
Well, the plus
Maybe
two
good
is,
for a champion or something.
If
Yeah.
that was
plus the
consistent
+2 is
damage
way
every
more
time,
consistent.
way more. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. I think it probably levels out, if not more in the favor of the +2, at least in my opinion. I don't manage to score a lot of crits.
He nods. He
Unless you
says,
happen to have slashing,
It's a
that
beautiful
slashing
weapon.
feat or whatever.
he
What
says,
is it?
well, that's no
You
worries on
slash-
that. If
What else you got under that counter?
says that's pretty much it. But if I see you around port next time I'm here, I do have a better weapon that you might like if you like glaives. I'll see if I can get it to sell you.
When will you be here next?
Oh, well, I'm here for a few days, and I'm probably gone for about a month. So, yeah, it's going to be a bit. I don't know how long you're in town.
Not sure if we'll see you again.
He says, well, if you're around, I'll look for you. I'll bring it anyway. Maybe someone will buy it. It's a +3 weapon.
Ooh, interested.
Yeah, I'll look for you if we come back in town, or if we're still in town.
What is name, friend?
Who, me? Oh, my name is Regaro. Dwarven Smith
Regaro.
Extraordinaire.
Okay. If tribe wants to find Regaro again, tribe will contact with magic.
Oh, Regaro, would you be interested in? Do you go to the material plane, to Gaian at all?
Oh, wow. No, haven't been back in a while. I mean, I used to live in the Drogoth Empire area.
Oh.
Says, but I traveled with the wizard here, and we did pretty good with him creating magical items, and I kind of learned the craft. He died, and now I kind of took over the business.
How do you get magic items if wizard not creating them?
Says, well, I learned how to create them.
Oh, fancy. Good friend to have.
He nods. He says, Master Smith, some of these aren't created by me, but I also have other ways of obtaining them through trade. He says, my work is heavily sought after amongst the stars.
You wouldn't have any use for Gaian gold now. No chance you'd be willing to exchange a little bit.
He scratches his beard. He says, give me a persuasion check.
I will
Came
use,
up with such good plans.
I will use one of my superiority die.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
He says, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll be back there at some point. Why? What are you looking to offload? How much gold? Says, us material planers gotta help each other out if we can.
Well, I'm not sure what the total exchange rate is, but I've got about 400 I can offload.
He thinks.
Even if you can't do all of it, some more would help.
Says, I'll give you 20 doubloons for the 400.
I'm gonna look at the smarter people in the group and be like, I'm bad at math. Does that
Beryl's
make
gonna
sense?
shrug because she has no idea what doubloons are worth.
Thumbs up.
We do still have about just over 1,100 gold in Teruvian stuff with us right now. So if you wanted to give up your 400, then that would give us a few extra doubloons. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna need.
Yeah, no. It's good. Thumbs up.
Well,
Go for it.
Yeah, so Hope Caller's giving you 2 thumbs up.
All right.
Alright,
Hope
so
Caller's trying to get in 2 votes.
you give him the sack with the 400, and he'll slip you the 20 doubloons.
All right. Do you want me to put that in the party inventory, or are you keeping that, Titus? Which it's fine either way. Like as long as we have it recorded somewhere.
I'd like to give the party 15 and keep 5 on me.
Okay.
Alright. Oh, and also, Titus, remember you got a story point for scribing.
Oh no, I didn't. I gave it to the. We talked about this.
Oh, okay.
Whoever. I don't know if someone. Didn't you just use one barrel or?
I used one
I
from my
did.
own.
I did, but it doesn't. I mean,
Whoever
it's-
needs it, I don't want it because I want to kind of just take it when the dice roll. Otherwise, I'm going to use it for something totally.
Oh,
different, like
if no one objects, I will take the story point.
Yeah.
Alright, Hope Caller, sure.
I like being at the mercy of the dice.
I mean, you could also use it to do other things besides rerolling.
Like story side quests and things.
Wish list items.
NPCs from your background.
But
How many does it take to get a wish list item?
Yeah, how much it take?
to add an item to your wish list is 1 story point per item you want to add.
2. Oh,
I'm not-
add an item to the list?
Nah, I'll
Yes,
put it
to
on
the
that too.
list.
'Cause
I'm not
I
sure.
could keep adding, but I like keeping it narrow so I have a chance to actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know what I'm gonna get.
Yeah, sure. I mean, usually you just want at least 1 per rarity level. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as long as you have 1 per rarity level, like, I mean, if you want, you can put more on, but...
You're just supposed to have 1 per.
We should have 4.
So,
And
yeah,
then-
when you start off, you're supposed to have 4. And yeah, you probably want at least 1 per rarity level just in case you roll the different rarities. You actually have something for that
No,
rarity.
unless I don't know if other than that and I don't know if they're used for anything that you don't roll for, but
You can use them also to do stuff in the game. Like if you go to the Discord, it has a list of all the things you can do with them.
well, I'm good on 'em- I'm good on. I have some currently. I'm just like I'm never gonna use these, so I started saying to pass them out.
All right.
So,
So you gave yours to Hope Caller. That's
yeah,
fine.
I'll check it out later to make sure. But I'm pretty confident that because I
Yeah.
read that once before and decided I didn't want them.
Apparently, I'm not good at reading rules.
I think you updated what you could do with them
Oh,
later,
the
and I
wish
never
list,
reread.
the spending story points to add additional wish list items and only 4 to start with is pretty new.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 or I mean, it's like 5 or 6 months old, but yeah, I think your character was made
Month?
before I did that.
Months? Okay.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit. I
I
mean,
know
we've had
you
a
and I
lot
have
of
talked
games.
about it a couple times, but like I don't remember it being announced. Like
I
it's
didn't know
only been
anything
talked
about it,
in the
honestly.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm
you
not
guys,
surprised.
your characters are from before that, so
Right,
you
but
kind
even
of have
even
grandfathered.
so, I only know about it because it was mentioned in 2 of my games, but has not been mentioned in my other games. So I understand why people have never heard of it.
Yeah, I mean now you start with 4 for free, but you guys made your characters back when you could do as many as you want, so I'm not gonna make you change that. You got grandfathered in on a big wish list. I think
Well,
most of you did.
you told me to go back and like adjust my lists, so I did. And then the ones where I really didn't want to like narrow down to 4, I subtracted story points from my character sheets for like anything over 4.
Oh,
But there was only a couple of my characters where I was like, I really kind of want to leave this in and see what comes up, see what gets rolled. So I left it. In fact, Beryl is one of those. She's got 2 of the
yeah.
same.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's fine.
rating.
Like I
Yeah.
said, you can grandfather your characters because they're old enough that it was before I made the rule. If you want the story points back.
I definitely wasn't. You told me when I made my list. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that, and you told me to cut mine down.
But anyway, or yeah, go ahead.
Nothing. I was just like, I was looking at the time. I'm sorry. I'm starting to turn into Cinderella here.
Yeah, I was about to say, were you saying something, Thorothy? Maybe
No, it was old Quid.
Okay. So yeah, let's do MVP votes, and we will continue your adventure in the in this strange little area next time. This trading hub.
So we got the arrows and we declined the vicious weapon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think all you bought were the arrows.
Cool.
What was this guy's name?
We've got like 100 and I forget how much of the doubloons now. So that's we're not as rich as we're used to being, at least in this economy, but we've got some.
Whoa. What happened?
All right. So with looks like a tie between Titus and Hope Caller. So give me D20 rolls, you two.
All right.
Oh,
It's a race to the bottom.
So Hope Caller wins. You gain inspiration.
And we need to remember this Regaro guy might have a pole arm that Titus might want, and we might try to come back later and buy it when we're not like we're here to like find Vlad. So we're like, yeah, let's get some money and yeah, let's grab items on our way as we go. But we're also like our main goal is info and Vlad. So
I've been thinking of bringing back inspiration points, just because. Yeah, so like you could have 5 points instead of just having inspiration.
Oh, okay.
Just so people wouldn't just lose it if they forgot to spend it. And you'd lose it if you had 5 and forgot to spend it. So there'd be inspiration points and story points. It'd be 2 different things.
We lose old inspiration if we don't use it.
Well, yeah, you're either inspired or you're not.
I had one that I haven't used that's been holstered. How long do they last? I didn't realize there was a time click into the clock.
It's
Uh,
you
No,
have it or you
if
don't.
you get a
So
new
if
one,
you
you
get
don't get a.
more and you already had it, then you still have it. But if you
Oh, I
use
see what you're
it and you get another one, then you get it. Just like
Okay.
like Barrel's had it for like 4 sessions, and she used it tonight. So not right now she's not inspired.
Yeah. So I might bring that rule back because I do kind of feel like it sucks if you just like are kind of forced to use it, or you can't really be as strategic sometimes with it.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
Right.
have a good night.
All right.
See you next week.
See you next week. Thank you, Lou.
It was an
Thanks,
interesting
Lou.
theater of the mind session. No naps and stuff.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
well,
I
this
gotta
is
Floating around the
I gotta
astral
say
plane.
though, it is painful playing a character after Vlad who has 0 social skills. Like, oh god. All right. Yep. On that note, speaking of social skills, I have to go out.
Good night.
Have a good night, everybody.
I will
yeah,
talk to you guys next week.
yeah,
Good
have a
night.
good night.
All right. Well, it was lovely, Lou. But I think I'm gonna call it too.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Yeah, you too. See you next week.